gents? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I'm your host, Sean C. I decided to do a late night session because I know I didn't do a live stream on Wednesday, but I came across a few clips while I was chilling on the couch. I said, you know what? Why not just get on real quick, see who's up, talk about a couple things, have a late night session. Got a little drink here. Nothing special, just a beer. But I figured I'd come chill with you guys for a little bit, see how y'all Friday night doing. Let me know in the chat what y'all doing tonight, who up in here. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Global Grind, what up, TSG? What up, my dude? Thank you for being here tonight. I was like, look, I'm not going out tonight. I went out last night and hung out with some friends. I'm like, you know what? For the month of September, I kind of need to chill at the house. So if y'all good with this grind session tonight, then if I'm not going out, we'll start doing them on Friday nights too, okay? Anyway, just want y'all to know I got a couple of clips that I'm going to bring to you guys tonight that I figured we could talk about. And some interesting stuff, man. Some interesting stuff. This is the kind of stuff y'all don't realize when I put out a video, like y'all might see 3, 4, 5 video clips, and then I go through dozens and dozens of clips just to make one video. So I've seen thousands and thousands of videos over the past 3 years. So tonight was one of those things. I said, let me chill with the gents tonight and see what they up to. Got my little drink, got my little vape on the side. We're going to go through these videos. We're going to have a good time tonight, all right? Shout out to my brother Preston. He said, what up, Sean C, big money, homie? I am great, man. I'm feeling amazing. And I'm glad to be here with you guys. XL Pro, man, shout out to you, brother, for being here. Always sending me the dope clips. If y'all don't know, man, let me get back to my banner real quick so I can show y'all something. You know, like, y'all can reach me at Instagram at TSG Uncut. Starting in September, I want to be better about putting out short clips on Instagram, even maybe putting some of those on TikTok, because I got to get better with my social medias. I am terrible with them, and I promise that I'm at least have small discussions with you guys on the Instagram and stuff like that. So make sure you guys subscribe to me at the Instagram, and I'm going to start getting better about doing that. Anyway, without further ado, I want to get into tonight's first video. The first thing that I want to start out with tonight is there's this thought process that men need to be more accountable for things. And listen, if you all are a follower of this channel, I am all about male accountability. I talk about us working on ourselves and being the best version of ourselves. I talk about it all the time on this channel. What we are seeing is we watch this channel and we see the videos of women not holding themselves accountable and not holding other women accountable, right? But we're going to talk about that. First video coming up. So let me get that up here real quick. I'm going to remove this one real quick, my second camera. Let's talk about it. Let me know if y'all hear it. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear this when I start it.
At what point do we begin holding men accountable? At what point do we say, hey, men, do better?
At what point do we begin to hold black men accountable? When have black men ever in the history of this country gotten away with anything? You mean holding them accountable by like child support or something? And maybe if they don't pay that child support, they'll go to prison? Or you mean like if a sibling of a black woman takes offense to the way her man is treating her and actually goes and kills him, or just beats him up really bad and now the sibling is in prison? Or you mean holding them accountable like socially by like dragging them on social media, smearing their name, calling them deadbeats or something like that? Or you mean like by reinforcing the stigma that white Americans place on black men and just regurgitating that narrative? Because if you're not talking about beating black men's ass, you're not talking about killing them, you're not talking about holding them financially responsible for their children, and you're not talking about incarcerating them when they actually break the law, you're not talking about social damnation. Like, what are you talking about when you say hold black men accountable? Like, what does that look like other than what I've already mentioned? Because the problem isn't that black men aren't being held accountable. The problem is that black men are the only ones being held accountable. The mothers of the men that you just mentioned, they were never held accountable. Women that have babies for men that never married them, they were never held accountable. Women that didn't even know who the father of the children were never held accountable. Women that lie and got caught lying, saying that black men sexually assaulted them, were never held accountable. Women that use their children as pawns and keep them away from the father are never held accountable. I expect this rhetoric from ignorant women that don't read, that haven't read, that only go off of social media. But when I see a learned, academically inclined individual speak these narratives, I'm embarrassed. When you can identify the visceral that some black men have for some black women while simultaneously ignoring why, you are also a part of the problem. Because if women with academic prowess can't even identify it, who is supposed to identify it? It's far too obvious. You have to intentionally ignore the factors and the reasons. It's like white people saying, I don't know why people are saying Black Lives Matter. You have to intentionally ignore things that you've heard and seen in order to come to that conclusion. I don't know if you have men in your life that you're close to, but please start talking to them. Please start asking real questions and ask them, are they being held accountable?
All right. So you guys saw that one. I thought I just, a lot of these clips I just pulled in the last couple hours, man. I was just sitting on my couch, man. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this late night session and just pull random clips and we'll talk about them as we go. I haven't watched them all in full yet. But I will say this, man. And XL Pro said it best right here in this comment. Men are always held accountable in society, or karma is real for men. Right. So I agree with that, right? Whether you black or white, when it comes to being a man, we don't get away with much, man. Like society, this society especially lets us know when we ain't doing the things that we supposed to do, right? This society nowadays, man, puts men on blast for everything, man. Like, and if you guys are fans of Dave Chappelle, right? You guys are fans of Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, that's what the point of those comedies was. And y'all know exactly what happened to Dave Chappelle when he was putting out The Closer, Sticks and Stones, and all that stuff. He was trying to make a point, a narrative to say that the shit is unfair. It's just unfair the way, like, you have a whole demographic or two that can do no wrong in this society, yet and still you got the margins, other margins of society or other demographics of society being held to an unreasonable standard, whereas other demographics can't do no wrong. All right. That was Dave Chappelle's point in those comedies, saying that we're getting pushed on a certain thing. And it's like, look, we ain't got no problem doing what you do, but make the standard even across the board, man. Don't try to like push this on us. So I didn't want to go too long on that last video clip because I want to show y'all a video that you guys may or may not have seen that is going around the internet right now, right? Or that's been pushed on certain other channels. And I wanted to bring it up more in a live stream topic because, you know, because so many people have talked about it, but I want to talk about this. So we want to talk about men being held accountable. I'm about to show you this viral video that's been going on YouTube right now, or sorry, TikTok and YouTube, about this man, what he's going through. Check this out. If this don't piss you off, man, I don't know what will. Check this out. Talk about men being held accountable. Check this out.
I'm being evicted from my house now.
Immediately, but what we allow you to do is get an overnight bag. All right, so
Right.
we'll go inside. You can get some of your things.
I have to leave with you?
No, you can drive away.
No. What I'm asking you is, I have to leave right now.
Correct. Yep. So you can go inside, gather up some of your things. We allow you that courtesy. And do you have your car here?
I do.
And then on your own accord, you can leave here, okay?
Wow, man.
So you're gonna leave and I can leave after you leave? I just have to leave.
We're gonna leave. No, we're gonna leave with you. We're gonna leave together.
Okay.
You definitely have to leave today, okay?
Gotcha.
So we'll do now. Go inside. Get some of your things.
You need this back?
What's that?
This.
Nope, that's for you.
This is me.
Yep.
This is me. That's officer and that's officer. Can I see your eyes, please? Is that okay? All right.
Hold on, let me pause this real quick, man. Put myself up on screen. First of all, let me acknowledge Chosen, bro. Thank you for coming through. He said, "Oh, snap! TSG switched up the live stream day. We in the building. Hell yeah, man! Like, you know what? For the month of September, I really need to try to get this book done. I'd like to get it out mid-September, but I don't know all the roadblocks I'm gonna have to go through to get the book done. But it is written. I have to get to proofreading. I'm gonna have to pay somebody to get it proofread, but I got work to do. So I plan to, not go out in the month of September. So you may see more of these random live streams at night, preferably on the weekends and stuff like that. When I see stuff I come across, we can talk about it. But shout out to Chosen for the $10 super chat. Man, let me tell y'all, man, everything that you guys donate, man, goes back into the channel. The reason why we have StreamYard and the equipment and stuff is because all the donations you guys have made over the course of time. And I want to do a membership for the channel. I want to start doing a membership. And that way you guys get more of the unedited stuff. Also, you guys will get footage from when I go out and just random topics I talk about. So I plan to make a members only channel where you get more of the discussions, the backstories and stuff. But I got to work on that too. That's why I need time to be able to work on that. So thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Preston says, dude, are you kidding me? We're always hold ourselves accountable for our actions. It's modern women who need to hold accountability for their lives and bad decisions. I agree with that. Preston says, toxicity always loves misery, company, and hell's fire, catastrophe. Jesus, Preston is already coming with the rhymes tonight. This man is getting evicted from his own house. He is told by the cops that he cannot stay in his own home. He is just finding out that his woman is serving him a divorce and filing a false claim. We're going to learn more about that as I play this video, but I just wanted to get the initial part out real quick and get to your comments. Chosen says, I'm convinced that the Matrix is designed to destroy men. I agree with that, man, and it is affecting men of all demographics, ages, and races, man. That's why we need to band together right now, and not to necessarily hate women, but to say that there's a system that is against men, and you have to ask yourself a question. Why is this system, right, pushing certain agendas hard? Again, I am not against other communities. I want to make that clear. I don't hate everybody. I don't hate anybody for anything. Just do your thing. But it's pushing certain other communities and agendas on us, but it is downgrading men. There is a problem with that. But we're talking about men being held accountable. Let's continue to see what else goes on in this story, gents.
My wife filed a false abuse claim against me in order to initiate a divorce, in order to get an advantage over the property that we have. Out of nowhere, she just filed a false abuse claim against me.
Let me pause it right there real quick. Let me tell you something, man. I've done a lot of videos here, and one of the videos was talking about how lawyers are pushing for women to file these type of claims even when the man hasn't done anything. There's a video clip I have in my files, and I got hundreds of clips that I haven't even used in my folders. But the woman was on Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil got her to admit that she lied about her husband doing something to her. She admitted on live national TV that she was hurt, and then he didn't want to do what she wanted to do. So part of the divorce, she said he did something, even though he never laid a hand on her. And this is what lawyers are telling women to do so that they have an advantage in court. How jacked up is that? But they don't get held accountable when they lie. It's just like, oh, okay, we made an error. Or they win, they win out. So to say that men aren't being held accountable, a man couldn't get away with doing this. Not in today's society. This dude is about to lose his damn home, right? The absolute nerve of these people. How about these losers wake up and smell reality? Because it doesn't benefit, they will do what benefits them. If it doesn't benefit them, they don't care about it. And that is the issue that we see at hand. Let's get back to the video.
And had me evicted from the house.
Right, with the false claim.
Women in particular who do this to men are criminals.
Yes.
They are dangerous. They are criminals.
This is criminal behavior. This is criminal. This is lying. And we talk about lying in the court system, right? Which is called perjury. These women are willing to perjure themselves in order to get advantage. And you never see a judge try to catch them in their perjury. They'll allow it to go, even though it's a he say, she say, right? This woman said that probably he did something, but probably have no documentation or any type of, she probably didn't even bring it up with the police at any other time, but she files it and then goes and files a divorce. So this is, and then he gets evicted. This is insane, man. Hold on. Let me play this.
My understanding now is that this is a strategy that many women will employ in court.
I've seen it.
In order to take advantage of their husbands and their property.
Let me tell y'all a real quick something. When I was going through my first divorce and we were in the room with the lawyers and we had the judge there and everything. You know what? One of the things, because we was trying to, divide assets, which I don't know why I was dividing assets that I paid for. Everything. I paid for everything, right? But we were dividing assets, and I was pretty nice. I'm like, look, you can have half of everything, the stuff in the house, stuff like that. But one of the things that she brought up to the court was, oh, I want to make sure we put in his divorce decree that he don't drink around the kids. Like I'm some raging alcoholic, like, oh yeah, little kids, well, y'all sit over there while I drink these beers or whatever. Like I'd never done that around my kids. I've never drank around my kids. So this was a tactic that she used in court against me. Now, this is minor of the tactics. This was just something that they wanted to put into the divorce decree so that she could potentially use later against me. This is the kind of strategies that these lawyers are telling women because they know that women will have an advantage against men in court. This is what I went through, right? So anyway, I just want to put that out there to let y'all know, man, I feel this.
You say I should have seen this coming? She did everything she could to keep me from seeing what she was doing.
Right. Yeah.
For the men who have to go through this and the children who have to go through this, I feel sorry for you.
Well, let me stop it real quick. He said he did not see this coming. And people say, well, you should have known this was happening. No, man, they will play to the last moment. But the fact that she did this means she was planning this exit strategy for months. And they will just keep everything on even keel so that a man doesn't even know when it happens.
This is painful.
Very painful, man.
But the only thing that is going to heal this is justice. If you know someone, or if you are someone, and this has happened to you, I'd love to hear from you.
Okay.
There needs to be a movement to stop this.
It does.
There needs to be a movement so that some strong legislation can be put in place to stop this. This is criminal.
Very much so. All right. Let me put myself back up on screen again. So this man is absolutely correct. This is criminal, man, because if anybody else did something like this, man, they would certainly be held accountable for their actions, man. Again, we're talking perjury, man. We're talking about women lying to get an advantage in the court system. This would be perjury. How is this allowed? How is this even possible for this woman to make this false allegation, especially if there was never any, it's a he say, she say, right? Especially if she's never filed anything with police and there's been no evidence of the fact that this man did something to her, yet and still he can get thrown out of his house because of a claim. Now, do you guys think that the cops, if it was reversed and a man said, hey, my woman is hitting on me, who do you think they're going to make leave the house? Typically, they're going to make the man leave the house, even if the woman is the instigator of the DV, right? The domestic issues, okay? This is stuff that men have to go through, and we're talking about accountability of men. Women are not on TikTok and they're not on social media speaking out against things like this. They're just not. It's not happening. All right? So I'm going to get the next video clip going. I don't even know which video clip is next. All right? So we're gonna go into another part of this subject. Okay, we're gonna take this to a new topic. Right now, we're gonna talk about we see what happened. This is why guys are checking out. But now we're going to talk about women's mindset when it comes to guys. Right? We're going to talk about the next video clip is going to highlight how modern women think, right? We always talk about women wanting the 666, right? The 6 feet, 6 pack, 6 ab, or 6 figures, right? But we're going to show how silly this argument is, how this don't even make sense. And this, what's going to be shown in this video is what leads to them crying that some dude screwed over them. And you're about to see how. This dude is starting to blow up on TikTok because he's doing these little simple diagrams on a sheet of paper, but it makes a lot of sense. So that's the next video clip that we're gonna bring up here. All right. Let me remove this one real quick, and let me put this up on the screen real quick. These people can't even cut accountability with a cold butter knife, let alone their own stupidity. You're right, Preston. Right? It's sad, man. All right, let's listen.
They cannot stay quiet any longer.
That's unfortunate.
Women, you have got to stop dating ugly men.
Okay, so number one, most men are ugly. From there down. Number two, stop dating ugly men.
Okay.
And number three.
Hold on, right there. See? So, okay. So now women like that are telling women, stop dating ugly men. So now you see, we talk about this all the time. Women want the top 20% of men. So let's assume if you look at this diagram that he has here, this little simple page diagram, now you disclude all the men that women think are ugly, which is 80% of men, 70 to 80% of men. So on that diagram, you see all the women are looking up. Let's say, imagine all these women stop dating quote unquote ugly men, which they think they're doing now anyway. And so they go for the top 20%. Let's see what happens next.
Why do the men have so many hoes?
They got so many options because if you eliminate all of the regular guys, look what happens. So now a few men, a small percentage of men have access to most women, right? To most women. And let's see how this works out for them.
Is anybody not getting this?
Right. You see that? Let me put myself back up on screen again. You see what his point was? So if women follow this advice that women like this put out on the internet, put out this on social media, then you see the disparity. You have a couple men dating all the women, getting access to all the women. And then what's going to happen? This is what's insane about this, you guys, right? This is what's insane about what I'm about to tell you. If women did that, they also require the top 20% of men not to cheat on them or not to have other women. If women, it's insane to me to think that women could expect men who have that many options to think that they're the only option and it's going to make a man not explore those options. Because I swear to you, the women, the most beautiful women in society who right, they have options. They have options because they're so pretty. Every man wants to get with them, right? And so what do? They exercise those options. How do we see it? We see it in everyday society, right? I go out all the time. I tell you that they get to skip the line. They get to get in VIPs. They get on these yachts sometimes. They get opportunities that regular women don't get. When they have the options, there is no complaints because they're going to do what benefits them. See what I'm saying? When it benefits them, which we talked about in the previous clip, when women have something that benefits them, they don't complain about it. They don't say this is unfair. They take that advantage. You think a woman is not going to go to skip the line in the club? You think women aren't going to not take free drinks? You think that women aren't going to go into the VIPs? Right? I mean, think about it. It's crazy. But this is the mindset that men have to deal with. Now, we're going to talk about this next video. We're talking about women and accountability, right? Women have all these options now, right? So this next video is going to highlight a statistic that most people that I've talked about in this channel. I told you what he about to talk about. The numbers that we see don't make sense. And this makes total sense. Check it out.
I just seen the research today. Some additional research came out that said 54% of women cheat because they're unhappy. And I just want to point on that unhappiness that leads to women cheating, and then essentially women cheat to get out of relationships. That just speaks to how unstable that marriages typically are and how they operate on the woman's emotions, because women initiate divorce at a higher rate than men do.
Right.
So that commitment that's made for sickness and in health till death do us part, that commitment is supposed to be honored. So when a woman feels that she doesn't love her husband anymore, or she's bored, or whatever the case may be, that those principles are supposed to stand. Those pillars of those principles are supposed to stand. She's supposed to fight through that. A lot of people don't know how to properly vet.
Yeah.
I just seen.
Yeah, they're not gonna fight through that, right? Women aren't gonna fight through sickness and health and death do us part, because modern women have the mindset nowadays that they have more options. That just because I'm not happy, I'm ready to bail on this relationship. And I had another clip in here. I don't know if it's in here or not, but it's like, oh, it wasn't in here. Charleston White talked about it. I saw a clip with him earlier, but he talked about, like, if we decide to get together, we're trying to build this up together. Like, people jump into relationships with the mindset of, I love you, this is why we're together. But we see that that's not working. Love isn't enough to sustain these relationships. So what do you have to do? You have to go into the mindset saying, we're going to get together because we're trying to build this. And then, as he stated, which is a great point, and what our grandparents and great-grandparents used to do and stuff like that, right? Or great-great-grandparents, is they got together to financially build together a family unit, right? And looking toward the future. And then love came as a result of that hard work together. But the problem is, people jump in thinking they're in love, and they never get to the point where they're willing to do the hard work. What they assume is that this is hard work and I don't want to stay in this. See what I'm saying? It's just a different type of mindset, man, that older folk understood better than we do today. So do you still wonder if relationships are worth it? How about hell's no? Don't think so. I hear you, man. I hear you. I think that I'm not opposed to relationships. If you ever read the comments, I congratulate everybody who's in a marriage or a long-term relationship, and I've made no bones about it. You can find somebody that's willing to work with you, but you have to understand as a man that with modern women today, you have to do what that young man said at the end of that video. You have to properly vet these women today and understand what their motives are. You have to have these tough conversations in the beginning to understand what her mindset is when it comes to what she sees in the future. Is she willing to work toward that with you? Right? Like, women have these long ass lists for us about what they look, these material things, these things that necessarily don't mean anything to the man's character, instead of looking at, where do I see myself in 20, 30, 40 years? But we're seeing that women cannot hang on for that long haul. They're just not built for it. They're looking forward toward the chaos and the misery. It's just, so I hear what you're saying, Preston, but at some point, there's sacrifices that got to get made, right? Let me bring up the next clip. All right. So that last clip, we talked about women cheating, right? Women cheat when they're unhappy to leave the relationship or whatever else it is. But we're going to talk about something else here in a second. These people might as well be afraid of their own shadow if they're afraid of accountability. A lot of people are afraid of accountability now, man, because nobody has taught them accountability. Nobody's held them to any type of standard. And this is something that I learned being a chief in the military, man, about you have to be able to have your standards be at a high enough level so that people understand where you're coming from. If you're trying to lead as a man or as a leader and you hold yourself to a low standard, people don't rarely, out of average people, most people don't exceed expectations. Most people at best will meet expectations or they'll fall short of it. So if your expectations of your woman or the people you are leading is at a very low level, then they're going to operate at a low level because that's where you set the expectations. So as a man, as a leader of the house, you need to have high expectations, knowing that the person that you with may not get there. But if your standards are high enough, then you're talking about that's how you make great, making your people great, by being a great leader. All right. That's what I learned from being a leader in the military. All right. And you have to also hold yourself to that high standard because people are going to look at you and they're going to say, well, if you ain't doing it, I'm not going to do it. So it's got to be the same thing. We have to hold ourselves to a higher standard as well. I've learned that that's the best way to do well in business and things like that. Shout out to my friend Karen. She said, just stop by to say hi. Much love. Thank you, Karen. I'm glad I was able to make a couple of your late night music sessions there. So thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Karen has been a longtime friend of mine here on in these spaces and stuff like that when I was a nobody. So I always appreciate when I get love from the people that knew me when I first started. Thank you, Karen, so much. I appreciate it. Let me bring up the next video for you guys, man. Check this out. Let me take this off.
The reality is a lot of men will say, she lied to me in the beginning. She was so good. She was so good. She lied to me. She lied to me. She lied to me. Women never, ever, ever lie. Never
that's a lie.
Lie. They might not say the truth, but they always show you the truth. Every woman that you've been with that has hurt you, used you, cheated on you, stolen from you, whatever it is, she showed you her red flags from day one. You chose to ignore them. You chose to ignore them. This is what women will do. They meet a man and they'll basically show their red flags in not so clear ways. So they might show it simply by how she dresses, and she might show you that she might be provocative, or she might show you with her sexual behavior. She might be very sexually liberal. She might show you in terms of how she talks about her exes. She might say that, oh, this guy was so toxic, this guy was so this, is that I'm still in love with this guy, whatever it is. She shows you some of her traits. She might show you through how she is as a parent. She might not have kids and not prioritize them, or she may have denied another man access to the children. And you think you're going to be captain stepdad and you're going to save the day. But the reality is she showed you that she denies men access to the children if she doesn't like them. And you think you're going to be immune to that behavior? Not possible. So these women always, and myself included, we show men all of our red flags. Now we pick the man that allows us to get away with the most nonsense. Now, if you don't have many red flags as a woman, what will happen is you attract a man with really clear boundaries. What will happen is a man with boundaries can only be with a woman who doesn't have many red flags, because they're a perfect match. She doesn't do too much. He doesn't tolerate too much. They work really well.
Yes.
But a woman filled with red flags will only select a man who's filled with low self-esteem. She will find the man who doesn't know how to exert his boundaries, doesn't know how to look for red flags, and doesn't know how to stand up for himself. That's the man she will select. So if you are a man with really low self-esteem and really value the connection more than the respect that she's giving you, you are going to find yourself constantly manipulated, cheated on, and disrespected by women.
So let's address something real quick. I want to address what Chosen said, right? So first of all, let me go back. Karen said, me too. Thank you. Of course, my friend, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Chosen says, wow, her facts are way off. So I think for her to say that women never lie, I thought was off, right? Like women will lie and manipulate the situation, but I think that you're missing the point there, Chosen. Let me read a couple more of your comments so I can make sure. Women lie about their looks with makeup. Facts. But let's put to test what she said. So if you see a woman who has makeup caked on like Earl Shah and basically painted on her face, right? like a 60s lowrider or something, then she's telling you in the beginning, right? Like she is covering her flaws. She is not comfortable enough to be fresh faced without makeup. And that's fine, ladies. I'm not saying that you guys shouldn't wear makeup at all. But again, if you can't unlock your phone screen based upon how you look with and without makeup, there's a problem there, right? So, and I get it. You're trying to look attractive, trying to feel pretty and stuff like that. But you got to understand, to men, that is one of the first lies that you perpetrate to a man. If you got your makeup caked on, you got these fake lashes and nails and weave and wigs, and you got your butt injected and all this stuff like that. These are the first lies that women tell to men in their appearance, knowing that men are visual creatures when it comes to being attracted to a woman. The first thing that we notice is you guys' appearance, right? So that is the first lie that women perpetrate. But her doing that is a lie that she doesn't tell you, she's showing you. And that's what this lady was talking about, right? So when you really think about everything that she said in that last video, if you really apply it to the women in your life who you look back on now with regret or disdain or hate or whatever, you'll know that there was red flags there. And that's the part that I agree with her, Chosen, because she's right. I can look back. I think about every bad relationship I had. And when you apply that filter to it, the filter of, did I see the red flags? In hindsight, as men, we see the red flags. But that's why it's important to be a man that has boundaries, as she discussed. Because when you have boundaries, when you start to see these red flags, you're like, no, I'm out. Pull the ripcord, I'm out, right? Because you're like, no, I know what comes along with that. I know what comes with that. So I think I'm saying that I'm not saying that you're wrong about the makeup thing, because that's the first lie that some women perpetrate on men. I'm just saying, if you really objectively think about it, gents, really, even for women, right? We talk about holding women accountable for the type of men that they choose. They get mad later, but they saw the red flags. The problem is with women is that they think they can change a man. And that's just not going to happen. Men don't change unless they want to change, unless they're ready to change. All right? But when it comes to those relationships that we've had, both men and women, if we look back on those red flags, we can see that we allowed ourselves that manipulation. We allowed ourselves to still proceed forward when everything in our spirits, maybe for some men, was telling us we should leave this alone. Then that's a choice at that point. And women talk about the men that do them wrong, that cheated on them and whatever. You saw the red flags. So we all have to be real about our relationships that don't work out, because we chose not to see the red flags when they were presented right in front of us. This lady is absolutely correct, in my humble opinion. Okay. Oh, wait, hold up. So Chosen says women lie about body count, dating profile pics, relations on the first date, emotional stability. Yeah, no, listen, that's the part. You're absolutely correct. That's the things when she said they never ever lie, right? But there is some caveat she used. She said when you first meet a woman, they don't lie. I disagree. Women will, if you ask a woman about her body count, I've showed the videos on this channel where a woman would just pick a random number, 3, 5, something that you won't look at down on her about. Women do that. Women lie about their looks. They lie about what they got going on in their dating profile pics. I had a woman on a dating profile some years ago, pretty much was like, yeah, I knew she had a kid, right? And that wasn't a big deal. She shared custody, But when we talked on the phone, what did she tell me? She said, he's not an issue. He's not a problem. He has her this amount of time. I have her this amount of time. There's no issue. We don't talk anymore. And then the red flag popped up in my relationship. I started noticing, I said, yo, he seems to be kind of hella involved for somebody you said wasn't involved or didn't care anymore. And that thread eventually pulling, eventually you found out this dude felt some type of way that she had moved on and started dating me. And then he started trying to insert himself more in her life. See, she lied to herself about the status of her relationship to me, not to scare anybody off. This woman was 34, 33 years old, 34 years old when I met her, right? She was a nurse. I'm telling you, man, those nurses are something else, you guys. I don't know if I'll ever date a nurse again. If you're a nurse, thank you for your service. But y'all got some issues, man. Seriously, I ain't doing that no more, man. I'm not dating no nurses no more, man. They is crazy, son. Wait. Chosen says paternity fraud is a big one. They lie in arguments too. Yeah. She didn't say that women don't lie. She says women don't lie. They don't have to lie because they show you the red flags. But I agree, they do lie about certain things. Okay. It's not that they don't lie at all. It's just that she said in the beginning, when they're trying to show you who they are, those red flags show themselves. They don't have to lie much. It comes out. I think that's what she meant. Okay. I agree with the red flags, TSG. Yeah. No, you brought up some excellent points, my brother. Preston says, silly rabbit, loony baloney, loves liabilities. Man, I can't believe. See, Preston, I've been working with you long enough I can read these damn poetry lines. Make sure you guys hit that like button down there, man, to get this algorithm thing popping off. Preston says, demon, she's lying through her bloody teeth. Facts, TSG. Yeah, I was just saying that I agree with you to some extent. They do lie. It's just that in the beginning, she said that they omit truths. It's not that they lie to you. They just omit information that you have to be able to ask the right questions. So if you are looking at a woman that she's so pretty, she's so fine, we having a great time together, blah, 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 but you don't ask the right questions, she's never going to provide you with the truth. You have to be able to discern and be smart enough to ask the right questions to see who you dealing with. Okay. You got to understand who you dealing with. And that's the point I believe she was making. Genuine, thank you for being here. Yes, just did this today. I seen the red flags. Absolutely, brother. That's what I'm talking about. I had chicks use filters to mask their true weight and looks. Okay, that's jacked up. If lies were straight, she'd be a rug on Looney Street. On the dating profiles, it's hella deceptive. Yeah, you're right. Dudes be getting catfish, bro. Nope. I've seen those and I've done videos on it. Genuine says, at least I got my son out of it. You know what? And it's sad that we have to look at it in those terms. I got my son out of one of my relationships too. And even that is like, man, work with me, man. Like, I love my son. And like what my ex does is she doesn't speak bad about me. And then she does give me talking access to my son. But what she don't do is when my son is feeling some type of way, I don't believe that she speaks up for me. She made it like, well, you got to sell this. So I was like, look, he's a teenager now. You know what I mean? Like, if you know that I'm trying to do the right thing, then you can speak out and talk to him. You know what I mean? But so I'm glad she's not throwing me under the bus that way. But, I talk to my son and I tell him I love him every time I talk to him. Liars, crack fires, stupidity, don't care. Shout out to Lawrence Ross. Thank you for coming through. Their constant lying negatively damages their mentality. I call it sisterhood asylum. Well, that's a good way to put it, brother, especially if they're not going to hold each other accountable in that asylum, right? So you bring up a great point on that. I know chicks personally who lie even if you ask them straight up. No, listen, I deal with a lot of women in my normal life, right? In terms of being out and stuff like that. And yeah, some of them lie. That's why I like talking to them. See, you guys be like, man, I ain't even deal with them. I talk to them so you guys don't have to, because I have conversations with women. You know what I mean? And I have conversations because I like talking to women. I'm naturally inquisitive. And I also understand that not only am I watching these videos and I'm creating these videos on this type of channel, but I'm in them streets, son. I'm in them streets talking to these women, right? I'm 6'3", man. So like, you know, I walk up to women, I get attention. So I use that ability to get attention to be able to have conversations with them and see the way they think. And that's the things that I use to be able to talk about on this channel because I see the stuff firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Where are we at? A half truth is a whole lie. And that is the other part in the last video that she doesn't get. And that's, I think, Chosen was trying to make that point. They may omit stuff, but it's a lie by omission, or is it truth by omission? Yes, truth by omission. That's the phrase. So, but we're not done yet. Okay. We got a number of more videos to go before we get out of here. I told you we chilling tonight, so ain't no rush. I'm here for you guys tonight. This is a fresh and fit clip, and I thought that this was a great question. That if I remember correctly, what was the question? Let's just play the video clip and we'll get to it. Let me know what y'all think. We'll talk about this on the other side. All right. Make sure y'all hit that like button, please.
Is it hard for you to just like go up to a woman and talk to them?
Hard.
Yeah, like I don't understand. It's not really like an experience.
So okay, that's what it was. Okay. So this woman asked a valuable question, right? This woman said, is it hard for men to just be able to go up to women and talk to them? Hell yeah, it's hard for some men to be able to go up to women and talk to them. Listen, man, it's open. Let me put myself up on the screen because I want you to hear his answer in a second. Hell yeah, it's hard for men to go talk to them, especially like, listen, as confident as I am going up to women, I ain't got no problem going up to women. Even for me, I will watch women in like a group setting. And even I've gone up to group settings and talked to women and stuff like that. But even I don't go up to women that are in groups because you can have a woman in that group setting that might want to talk to you. You might have been across the room and you're getting choosing signals and stuff like that, and all good. Now, tell me if any of you guys have been through this, okay? And ladies that's listening, chime in if there's any women watching this, in the chats, the comments, whatever. If I'm wrong, I'm lying, whatever, okay? So you got this women in the group setting, and I go over there. I've been looking at one or something like that. I've gone over to women before in this group setting, try to go talk to the one I want. And then you have the other girls like almost vetting you for her girl. Oh, he ain't good enough. If you don't fit the standards of the other women in the group, then you don't even get to talk to the one you was looking at or that y'all was giving each other signals. And then sometimes those women won't talk to you because their friends don't approve of you in the moment. But then here's the even jacked up part. Those other women dish you in front of the girl you was talking to and they send you about your way. But in reality, some of them get jealous that you didn't go up and talk to them because you know how women are with each other. They think like I might choose a girl who's just like, you know, like she's not an 8 or a 9 or something like that. Maybe she's a 7. Maybe she's a 6.5, right? Cute girl, whatever. I can see, kind of feel her vibe and personality, right? I like low-key type of girls. But the ones who think in their heads that they're 8s, 9s, and 10s look at you like, why'd you talk to who we consider the ugly duckling and you didn't come over and talk to me? Let me know if anybody, let me know if y'all can feel me on that one. And this, no matter how outgoing I am, gents, I still find myself like, I don't feel like dealing with that. Let me know if y'all can feel that one in the comments. Let me know if y'all feel that one in the comments. TSG right about female friends bugging out. For real, for real. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I've seen it. They're like, wait a minute. You don't even know me. And then, bro, they will shoot down. If they feel like they ain't got enough attention that night and you give attention to the person, to one of their friends that they don't feel deserves that attention and they deserve that attention, some of these women will shut you down just because the other friend is getting attention that they wish they had. Bro, it is a sick game out there, which is why I will never talk to women I can say never. But that's why I rarely would ever talk to a woman in a group. Mr. Charles, thank you for being here. Crazy how women tell men just be confident when approaching women. Says the women with fake hair, nails, makeup, lashes, and eyebrows. So how confident is she? And Mr. Charles, thank you for being here. And that's exactly what we talk about on this channel all the time, gents. But I want you to finish this out because Myron, is that his name? Myron is going to talk about this here in a second. Let's finish this out as a quick video.
Every time.
Stop. This is what I'm trying to say when I say women don't know what they're talking about. When women say, it's a vibe, oh, he was cool, blah, blah, blah. That's a vibe. You understand that the man, to create the vibe, that's a fucking skill. He's got to be able to come in, talk to you in a certain way, speak to you in a tonality, make you feel comfortable without necessarily being too nice, but at the same time, he's got to have some type of allure to have you where you're interested without getting bored, etc. Men have to do all the courtship in the beginning and get you in a position where you're aroused by him, but at the same time, not scared of him. And that's a very delicate balance. But you guys don't understand this because women don't have game. Women don't talk to men and approach men. You just sit there and receive the attention, and you decide if you want to deal with the guy or not.
Facts.
Women don't understand any of this stuff because at the end of the day, men are the pizza makers. You guys just enjoy the fucking pizza.
Ooh, ooh. He's right though, right? So let's go back to the scenario I just put out to you guys, gents. Imagine now I see this group of women. I see the one woman I want to talk to, something like that. The amount of courage it takes to be able to say, you know what? I'm going to walk over to this group. I'm going to shoot my shot, knowing that these other potential girls might feel some type of way, knowing that these other potential girls might shoot down the girl I want's chance to be able to talk to me, even though she gave me the choosing signals, gents. She gave me the signals to let me know that she was interested in me. And I've been doing this a long time, man. I can read people pretty well. I am a good reader of people. So when I'm out in these social settings, man, this is something that I've been doing for years, gents. This is what I know. And then I go over there and then I see it happening. You can see it happening, man. You can like, right? You can see the confidence if you don't pick the right one. You can see the confidence go down, man. It is the most insane thing I ever saw in those scenarios, bro. And again, your average guy, and this is no knock on average dudes at all, okay? Y'all know I'm all about that here on this channel. But your average guy cannot just go and do that. Your average guy cannot just go in that group with confidence and then walk out and not be dejected, or much less even go up to a single woman, right? Like your average guy will hold back for so long because they don't want to get rejected, because men get rejected so much more. And instead of empathizing that with men, you know, these women today like, oh, I don't understand. Why wouldn't you go talk to her? Blah, blah, blah. You know why? You didn't seen your girl reject the dude. And then women today are cruel because they will literally laugh and cackle with each other as that dude is walking away. I'm talking about it's the most sinister shit ever, right? I'm talking about really. This is the reason why some men have absolutely no confidence. They shoot their shot, and then they just get, decimated in front of these women. But I'm going to tell you, gents, if you ever find yourself in that situation, man, hold your head up high. Walk away. Don't walk away with your tail between your legs, man. Walk away like a goddamn man. Like, your loss. Do not be one of those dudes that's like, well, F you, B, you know, don't stoop to that where you try to insult them or like, I'll punch you in the head. Like, dude, these dudes in the hood are savage, right? Like, I had a friend of mine from one of my friends. She told me how when she lived in the hood there in Tennessee, in Memphis, how she was telling the dude no, and then and she told him something, and then when she came out the store, this dude put a gun to her head, you know, and so don't be that type of dude. Okay. You ain't got to do all that. Walk away with your head held high, live to fight another fight. Okay. Because being told no isn't the worst thing ever. Okay. It just ain't. Being told no ain't the worst thing ever. Right. The most successful people in this world get told no all the time. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people will take no and they'll try again. They'll no, and they will continue to take no's, but they don't look at no's as a failure. They look at no's as an opportunity to grow and to do better and to do better things. Let that be you. All right. I hope y'all feel that message on that one. All right. This is what y'all talking about here. Mr. Charles says, oh, I already read that one. Preston says, if lying were a person, those women be that person. Women are the gatekeepers of relations, but men hold the keys to relationships and marriage. Absolutely. You pick you picking one shames the rest. Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with that. Right? They do hold the relationships, but we do control marriage. And that's the thing. That thing is leaving. Dudes don't want to be involved with it because if you saw the second clip I played with the dude getting a divorce served to him and his wife putting out a fake charge on him saying that he did something to her and he never did, men don't want to deal with that no more, man. Hell, men don't want to go through that. All right. Anyway, there's a this next video. So now we've identified in these first clips, right? We identified how the problems with relationships, right? The problems with the unaccountability of modern women. But this next clip is an argument that is starting to be made here on TikTok, the internet, social media. You hear Kevin Samuels used to say all the time that, hey, you're going to wind up dying alone with your cat and this, that, and the third. Now you have women saying this about men. Now, there's 3 videos I'm going to play in succession, right? And I may not play them full through, but there's a reason. There's a narrative that I want that you guys to get from this that is very important, okay? I want you guys to see this first clip, and we'll talk about it here on the other side. Like I said, I'm not going to let the whole thing play as a 3-minute clip. I don't need you to see the whole clip because we're going to talk about the 3 clips. The next 3 clips are very important. So don't go anywhere. Hit that like button. Thank you guys for being here tonight and sharing your Friday night with me. But we got more to do tonight, okay? We got some more that we got to do, okay? Check this out.
The reason why I be telling y'all not to trip about these men and whatnot is because I work in the healthcare field. I've been in the healthcare field since I was 18 years old. They're dying alone. They're dying alone. The women that's in these places, their daughters are coming to see them every 2 weeks. I am the one who is right there when some of these men are taking their last breath. Guess what? Nobody showed up for them. Not their kids, not their wives, not their grandkids. Nobody came for them because why? They were not good men while they were alive. They're gonna continue dying alone. That's why I tell y'all don't trip. I'm physically seeing it on a daily basis, watching them all go by themselves. That's why I don't be worried about these men talking because, baby, I watch y'all every day. Go by yourselves.
First of all, everybody dies by themselves, but whatever.
Nobody on your side.
I'm seeing these types of videos more and more on social media of women pretty much gloating about men dying alone in nursing homes.
Yep.
And then we see the comments. He got what he deserved.
Yep.
It's karma. This is what happens to bad men. Really? Because a man is alone in a nursing home?
He's a bad man.
Here's the thing.
He's in a nurse home by himself and he's a bad man for that? Are you serious? Okay.
I already could have assumed that this would be happening. But not for the reasons you think. A man's contributions are rarely, if ever, appreciated.
Facts.
At any age.
So, yeah.
What would lead one to believe that an old man wouldn't be tossed aside like a broken ATM?
Ooh.
But he was worthwhile when he was in his prime, right?
Right. So I'm not going to play the rest of that. I'm not to say that it's not good or anything like that, but I want to get to the next clip because I want you to see how these older women are talking, okay? So we saw this woman saying that, hey, men, she's seeing men dying along in nursing homes. And this isn't the first video that I've looked at through all the videos I've looked at about this subject, right? So they're pushing this narrative because Kevin Samuels pushed this narrative. And she may have seen men dying along in nursing home. That may be true. But we're going to see how some women that are older are talking. We know it's not fully the truth. But we're going to talk about that here on the other side. So let's get to the next video. These next 3 video clips, man, I'm telling y'all, check it out. I'm building a narrative. Y'all know I'm always telling a story with my video clips. Always telling a story. Check this out.
Here's something men need to understand about women over 50. We don't care about you. We don't need you. We don't want you.
Really? Okay.
In fact, We really don't want you.
Okay, fair enough.
We're happy on our own.
Really?
We're thriving. We're living our best lives despite what you may think or say. We don't have to prove anything to anyone. In fact, leave us alone. Please.
Okay.
Block me. I wouldn't care if no men ever commented on my page again for the rest of my life.
So my parents.
Actually, that's what she has a problem with. She has a problem that men are coming to her page when she puts out some BS. And that's the reason why she don't want none of them to come back to her page, because they holding her accountable. Anyway, let's get back to this.
My life.
So my parents, they live in this retirement community, 55 plus, and there's a really interesting dynamic that happens with men and women over 50 in this community.
I can't wait to hear this. Gents, are y'all ready to hear this? Let's see what she has to say.
It's actually single men that are in short supply. So when a man becomes available within this community, what you'll see is women starting to bring over food, cleaning his house, keeping him company, until eventually one will move in with him and he's off the market. I'm saying this because this message is so unnecessary. Men will not go where they are not wanted, especially by 50. They are just done trying to please a woman that will never be happy.
And you know what's interesting about that, gents? I read you guys' comments, especially my older gents. Shout out to my older gents out there, man. My G's, okay? The G's of the channel, okay? That's our pioneers before us. And a lot of those guys, especially in the polls that I've ran on this channel, those men are like, look, I'm cool, right? A lot of those men could just go off and get a log cabin in the wood, have a dog or two, and just be cool out on their own, right? Nobody around. Straight okay. They okay. Have a little bar they can go to, have a couple beers with some fellas and stuff like that. Dudes are cool. Cooler than women think that we are, right? Even if we're going to die alone. Because most of us go through periods and have been through periods in our life where we haven't received attention, that we didn't get women looking at us, or that we didn't get that female attention or intimacy and stuff. There's a lot of men that just going through that. Now, I'm going to talk about that more toward the very last clip, right? Because that is a serious topic that we do need to address, which is why I put a clip at the end so we can talk about that briefly. But as she stated, available men in these retirement homes is something else. I'm going to read a couple comments and I'm going to play the third clip because I want y'all to see the third clip. It's very important. Please stick around for that. Okay, if you think about jumping out. Lauren says projection. You got it, my friend. Mr. Charles says, you got to do a live rapper Yo Gotti getting Angela Simmons when she had no more options and 7 years later and 10 failed relationships. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll see if I can find that video. Let me see. Let me write that down. Angela Simmons. I'll see if I can find something on that. All right. Yeah, but she's been through a lot. Yep. Genuine says women destroys men. Some women do. Absolutely. All I heard was yada, yada, yada. I'm a lying trash heap. Blah, blah, blah. Travesty. All right. We're going to bring up this last video clip because I want now y'all heard what the first woman said, right? And there's going to be a recap of that, but this is very important, gents. This is very important. Okay. You heard what she said about men dying alone in the nursing homes. You heard what the other woman saying about we don't want you. We don't need you. Yada, yada. Check this out.
Check this out.
The reason why I be telling y'all not to
All right, here we go, fellas. I'm back at them. I'm in here with this goddamn pressure. Y'all know this passion in my tone, man. Y'all go back and check that video out for greater context for me one time. But y'all see the stats I got up on the screen. I ask myself sometime when it comes to our community, right? When I get on this app, why y'all hate us so much?
Yeah, why?
Like, I don't have no hate for y'all. I don't wish no ill will on y'all, man. The only reason I ever started a channel, the only reason I even started a page and I started speaking is because I can't stand this shit.
Hold on, let me pause right there. Let me pause this right there, right? He got a point, man. And if you guys, for my gents, my people that been down with me through all of this, right? Through this channel. I always say on these live streams, what do I say? Preston, right? Chosen, you guys know, man. You guys know I say, look, I don't hate women. I'm not mad at women. I'm not bitter at women. I'm not bitter at my exes. I'm not mad at them anymore. I don't have time for that level of energy in my life. I just don't. Okay. If all that time I'm sitting there bitter and angry, that don't help me, man. That don't get me to getting to where I'm trying to get to. So I can understand how this man feels like, yo, why do women just hate men? They just bitter, man. And they bitter because the men that they want don't want them. And that's what it comes down to, man. It really does. Some of these women are just bitter because they've been hurt and ran through, but they put themselves in this situation and wonder why they are on their own right now. Preston says, buy a dog, die alone. All right, here we go.
Y'all always make these videos, but y'all getting out here lying. And y'all could have just done a damn simple Google search like I just put up on the screen, and you would have found out everything you saying was a lie. Well, why do you wish us to die alone? Why do you wish the worst for the men that look like you? But then these is the first people to say, oh, but they might go date somebody else, or they go do this or go do that. Well, hell, you can't blame these brothers.
Right.
If you're going to talk about me down bad like this every day on the internet, then what else you want me to do? You could have did Google. Let me tell you my problem. You Google Sexy Red.
Okay.
You Google Suki Hana.
Okay.
You Google bullshit.
Sure.
But you won't Google no facts before you get on this internet and you run your mouth and you continuously talk down about black men. I done told y'all I got tired of this shit. I am sick and tired. Everybody watching this video, you can see the facts and the stats for yourself. And I'm going to start posting most of my videos like this because I'm tired of playing with these people.
All right. Oh, okay. But look, let me read to y'all for anybody who might just be listening. It says 54.6% of nursing home residents are women. That means just 35.4% of nursing home residents are men. This ratio is similar to the ratio of male and female assisted living residents, meaning that they have their own apartment, but there's nurses on staff, where 70.6% are women. So there's more women in assisted living situations and only 29.4% of men are. Interesting. And I'm going to bring up some more stuff that we're going to talk about here on the flip side based upon these statistics that you guys may or may not know, but I'm going to put it out here anyway. Hit that like button if you're in here. Hit that like button in here.
What is the point? To divide our community even more. We already divided.
Yep.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm speaking just for me as a man, I ain't dealing with nobody on no different.
That's right, man.
I don't care what community be, definitely not mine. And definitely if I'm not from no women. If you got anything to say about black men disrespectful, and I ain't never did nothing wrong to none of them, I ain't got no black kids I ain't raising, motherfucker. I got all of mine. I ain't got no baby mamas. I ain't hurt no brothers. I ain't shot none.
Yep.
I ain't did none of
right.
that.
And hold up. Most black men, contrary to popular belief, right, aren't doing all that. But anyway, that's not what's being perpetuated in the media and in the news and stuff like that, man. It's just
so because I'm not one of them, if you say anything like that about black men around me, I ain't protecting shit. I'm gonna protect the black women that love me.
That's right.
I ain't gonna do nothing else for nobody else.
Okay, I hear you, brother.
I tell you every day, man, it broke my heart when I got on here and heard the way y'all been talking about us for the last year and some change.
Especially the way they talked about Kevin Samuels after his death, man. That is one of the most disgusting things I ever heard, man. Like even when I saw certain, I'm not going to say who, but I saw certain politicians pass away, I was like, you know what? I didn't wish ill on them, but even though they did ill to our communities and did ill to other people, but you know what? They did now. You know what? There's a thing called allowing those people to rest in peace, right? And whatever they had to deal with in their lifetime, that's on their energy. They is gone now, right? There's no sense in talking bad on people that ain't here, but instead you have the most disrespectful, ungrateful generation of modern women who, you know, like blaming everybody for all of the issues that they have instead of pointing in the, looking in the mirror and pointing at themselves.
I wasn't even on TikTok or YouTube or none of that. And the only reason I got a YouTube channel is me and Pop and we on the couch. And the only reason I got this page is because I said it ain't no goddamn way in hell these people supposed to look me in my face and tell me you love me and all you do is talk down about me, put me down, and
That's
hate
right.
on me.
That's right.
So since that's what you do, I'm like LeBron James. I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach.
Ah. All right. So I'm gonna put myself back up on screen, you guys. Let me add this camera view real quick. So look, this brother brings up a point. Now, the thing I told you about that I thought was very interesting. Actually, let me switch camera views real quick. And I want to put this back up on the screen, right? About the 70% of women that are assisted living. If you guys aren't aware what's going on in the housing community, particularly with lower income women, but because the housing prices are rising up, it is women who's going to be most affected right now by this housing price raising, particularly Black women, right? They're the ones getting squeezed out of this housing market because a lot of women like to project themselves as being queens, tens. They don't independent, don't need no man, and a lot of them, statistically, a lot of them don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and the housing crunch is affecting them more. And in another 10 years, it's going to be really bad for some of them. See what I'm saying? I'm not saying they don't have dudes that don't have apartments, stuff like that, but a man got to get out there and work. A man got to get out there and get it, man. Nobody feels sorry for us. Do you understand that a man has to build his value up? Because nobody gives a shit at the end of the day what happens to a man. They don't care. Nobody gives a shit what happens to a dude. We ain't got no choice. We ain't got no choice but to hustle to make sure we put ourselves in a situation where we have some place to live. Because if we don't, we're going to be homeless and ain't nobody going to feel sorry for us. But the housing crunch is affecting lower income women. It is. So no matter how much they want to act like they live in this lifestyle, a lot of them are just flossing with nothing. And they try to perpetrate a fraud, as I like to call it, perpetrate a fraud on us. Right? So I'm putting myself back up on screen. So I wanted to play those 3 video clips in succession because I thought that I found it to be very interesting topic. Now, we've already talked about how older women feel about us. We've already talked about how, how men have been, how men get played. We talked about how older women are saying they don't need us and stuff like that, yet and still there at home, drinking wine, crying and shit like that, got their cats and stuff like that. Man, if y'all don't know, make sure y'all buy some stock in PetSmart and Petco and all that stuff like that, because those stocks have risen and they're going to rise. They're going to rise. As men say, hey, I'm done. Men are not having sympathy on women nowadays. They're not. Because women talk crap about men, but they're talking crap about men in general based on the men that they talk to. And they wonder why their life is all jacked up. So this next video clip that I'm going to present to you guys is talking about that. Why men don't have sympathy for women when it comes to that case. But before I get there, I'm going to read your comments. Where are we at? Okay, right here. Preston says the one who's Snapchatting along with no man. Yep. And no plan. Nope. You know, I always talk about us having plans on this channel, the gents. Bro went off with them stats. Yes, he did, sir. Yes, he did. Preston says, and that's exactly why I say let these people die alone in their prime. Let them keep that same energy in their decline. Oh, Preston, that's a good one, bro. That's a good one. You came with the fire on that one, Preston. Can't even lie, brother. Lawrence says, concerning modern women, Black men aren't rejecting marriage. They're avoiding divorce. Wow. Wow. That is exactly it. I did stats. Lawrence, let me tell you something, man. I do community posts usually Monday through Friday on this channel all the time. I did miss a week, whatever, because I was busy. But most of the time at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I put out a community post. One of those particular community posts that I put out, Lawrence, talked about how men feel about dating and relationships. I wanted to know how my gents on this channel felt about dating relationships. And you know what the statistics said on this channel after hundreds and hundreds of votes? That most men are amicable to being in a relationship, and or some still wouldn't mind being married. They just feel like they don't necessarily want to be married to American modern women because they can't trust them. That's what the stats say. So when you wrote down and said they're avoiding divorce, that is one of the biggest reasons why men are just avoiding marriage, because they see no benefit in it. It's women that are bailing out and pulling the ripcord out of marriage. And I've seen the stats. Men want to get married. They just don't see it benefiting them at all. Chosen says that dude spared nobody. No, he did not. I learned a good tip to find my next wife. Should have strong family values, with her parents, or happily married 20 or 30 plus, 30 years plus. Separated parents is a no-no now. Well, that's a good point, Genuine, but let me push back on this, okay? I had a video somewhere in my queue. Like I said, I got hundreds of videos that I could pull at any one time, but I always like to pull the ones that make the most sense for what I'm trying to discuss that day. But one of the videos was a woman who had her parents intact. And I think it was an interview, like one of those interview styles, right? And that woman said she didn't want to get married, even though her parents were still together to this date. Even though her parents were still together, this woman was anti-marriage, bro, right? Straight up anti-marriage, because she couldn't see herself being with one person. This is what she said, right? She couldn't see herself being with someone 30, 40 years. And that is another issue that we don't talk about. And I don't know if I've directly addressed on this channel, but one of the things is these modern women today can't see that because they get bored. See, women used to talk about how, oh, he's bored with us. Men get bored with us, so they just throw us away. And some of those are valid points, right? Some dudes just did that. But now we're seeing that even though some women have two-parent households that have been married 20, 30, 40 years, that they are still getting divorced because whatever was going on, that dynamic, they're like, I can't deal with that. Also, in that same video, Genuine, she also talked about how her mother does for her father, and she couldn't see herself in that scenario waiting on a man. Even though that's her dad and that's her mom, she didn't see the beauty in that relationship. So I'm not saying that your criteria is wrong, because more often than not, that is a predictor of success when it comes to long-term relationships. How healthy was that woman's relationship with her father and her mother? But I'm saying that you also have to be careful, because the mindset, which is why it is important for us gents to ask the right questions, to be able to vet these women, to see the red flags. And when you see them, not stick around through the red flags, but to avoid them. Now, everybody has skeletons in their closet, but you have to understand which red flags are the things that are going to keep or prevent you from having a successful relationship. I think if you take everything that you said and everything that I'm talking about right now and you put it together, you know, maybe you might have a shot, but it's going to be tough. Okay. Chosen says, I don't hate black women, but my priority is to be the good black is to me the good black women in my life. Mom, sister, cousin, friends only. Yep, absolutely. Chosen also says, I'm not deleting myself for no female who don't care about me. For real, for real. I agree with that. Good stock tip. PetSmart. Lawrence jumps in. He says, so why are they starting that soft girl BS? Desperation. Yeah, we talked about that on this channel, Lawrence, on a particular live stream where I discussed this soft girl era. And I think I presented clips to show that it's just a tactic, man. It's just a tactic, you know? Exactly. These women talk about the passport brothers and men, period, saying that they don't want or need us, but get mad when the men give them exactly what they've asked for. Absolutely. Lawrence says they've been told to go through their 304 phase. Absolutely, man. You're not lying about that one. All right. Let me, I got the next video clip set up. So let me get myself back up on here with this. Let's check it out.
I think it's just not easy for the woman when she hits a certain age.
We know this already. It's called hitting the wall. All right, next.
We're talking about women who've kind of had this high life and then they've stopped getting offers because maybe now she's hit like 38, 40.
Yep.
And then it's almost like they've kind of gone into this dark hole now. It's so toxic. It's like horrible.
Well, listen. Let me, before we get back into this video, right? Women acknowledge, if women are being truthful with themselves, oh, wrong camera. That's what happens. You got multiple cameras. This is when women are truthful with themselves about their age and about their SMV, right? Their sexual market value. If they're real about it, and if they're real with themselves, yes, they don't get the same amount of attention. But listen, I talk about this inverse curve, right? I get to actually use, damn it, my whiteboard ain't clean. I got to start keeping my whiteboard clean for this, right? If you had a chart, right? You had a chart here, and on this side, right, is desirability on this side, and age on this side at the bottom, right, on the y-axis, and you had desirability on this one. For women, their peak is when they're in their, like, you know, let's say this down here is like 22, right? And then, you know, as they get older, it's going to trail off, right? Desirability to men. But for men, that curve starts down here, right? Most men aren't desirable when they're younger. And then if they've worked on themselves and build up their SMV, then this upper range of the chart, right? You're talking anywhere between 30 to 55 in some men, right? Especially in that older range, right? The mid 30s up to about 55. If you've done the work and you've built yourself, right? You've made the money that you need to make and you've worked on yourself, whatever. This is where men start to really find their footing, right? I actually had a conversation the other day about this topic where I talked about, and I was talking to a female friend of mine, and we talked about this. We talked about how, think about it, when you was in high school and you was a freshman, and the girls that were freshmen with you, who were they talking to? They were talking to sophomores, they were talking to juniors, right? When you became a sophomore or a junior, who were they talking to? They were talking to juniors, they were talking to seniors. Then when you became a senior, what was women doing? Then they started talking to guys in college, right? Then when you guys got out into the college age, right? Then same thing happened, right? Like the younger classmen women start falling for the upperclassmen dudes, right? Then about the point where you're 25, then the women at your age, or, you know, 22, 23, 24, right? Women that age, 25, they start talking to guys at 30. And then when you hit 30, then the women are trying to tell you as a man to settle down. They're trying to tell you, hey, you shouldn't be playing games no more. You 30, you should be ready to get married because I'm ready to get married, man. My clock is ticking, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you want a family? Why are you playing all these games? But now, as a 30-year-old man, if you started any part or level of your career or started making any type of money, now you have access, if you've done the work on yourself and you know, taking all that in consideration, now you have access to these women that are in their 20s that you didn't have access to when you was in your 20s. But now they're trying to tell you to settle down. So now you're 35, and let's say you're looking for your wife. So she's about 26, 25, 26, 27, maybe 28, 29, 30, right? But then you have women 35 are like, why is this 35-year-old man talking to these women in their late 20s? Why isn't he picking me? Why isn't a 35-year-old man picking me? They don't want to talk to a guy. Some women get smart and they start talking to guys in their 40s. That's the smart ones. But the ones who don't want to go up that high, guess what? They're like, why is this 35, 36, 37, 38-year-old not talking to me? Well, that dude has access to women that are younger now. And now you're talking about, if you are a man that keeps yourself in shape and you're working on yourself and you start to get to your 40s, wherever, 35 to 40 or 35 to about 55, right? You might actually start having access to be able to talk to people's moms, You know what I mean? You'd be able to talk to moms at the same time. You could talk to women in their 30s. Hell, if you're good enough, you could even get some 20 women in their 20s to start hollering at you if you've taken care of yourself. And that's the thing that they're pissed about. That's what this video is about to talk about. Let's finish this one out.
But here's the thing, most men don't feel sorry for those women, and I'll tell you why. The reason men don't feel sorry for them is because the experience that she begins to go through when she's older is the experience 90% of men go through every single day. The guy who works at the post office, the guy who helped you pack your bag, the guy who delivered your Amazon parcel, the guy in your class, the guy that you worked with, most guys are invisible. It is only the high value guys that catches women's attention, the guy who's tall, attractive, in shape, successful. So when women who have had that taste of the high life, have been that desirable, got all the attention, everything, they then get to a point where now they're being treated how most guys are treated. Guys don't feel sorry for them. A lot of guys feel that if you wanted to have a partner, have a family, settle down, you get to that point in life and you haven't done that, it's because you fucked up, because you definitely had an abundance of opportunity to do that. So it's very difficult for a lot of guys to have sympathy, because for a lot of guys, it's like, this is how it's been for us since day one. And most of us don't even get to a point where we can attract a girl like you. You've been there, you've had the chance to get those guys, but because you decided to play around, maybe you didn't want to serious, and that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but you have to accept what comes with the path that you choose.
Woo, look at that face. She was stuck, son. Hold on real quick. Let me put that face back up on the screen while I talk about this. Boom, she was stuck. She was stuck, son. Hold on, watch this. Watch this. Bam. Her face, she was like, everything that I just explained to you, gents. This dude dropped some gems on there, and I got to give him credit. It's like 2 or 3 videos I've seen or used on this channel, but he telling them the truth, man. She used the words, it's toxic because women feel some type of way because they get older. And we as men have had periods of going through that. Again, unless you like Chad Thunderstruck. I had another word for it, but I had to watch myself with this YouTube thing, but you know, you Chad Thunderstroke or Tyrone, you know, Tyrone Thunderstroke or something like that, man. You know, if you're just the average guy, man, you've gone through periods where you were just completely invisible. This is why you don't give up. You keep working. Okay. I'm not saying that you have to do this for female attention, but there's nothing wrong with enjoying female attention, man. And listen, I'm going to say something here in a little bit. We get through a couple more of these videos. I'm gonna tell y'all some real stuff when we're getting ready to close this thing down, but that I think that you guys need to understand, something that I'm starting to feel in my spirit, in my soul, that I got to give to you guys. I got to give it to the gents. Okay, I need you guys to understand that, especially you ladies, that men can't feel sorry for that, because most men are invisible. Let's just put it out there. Most men are invisible to women. And I've talked about this on this channel, and I've definitely talked about this in a live stream before, right? But I've definitely talked about what I'm about to say on this topic before. But when a man looks at a woman that he isn't attracted to, he looks at her and he goes, he has more of a or a sickly feeling in his stomach, right? Like, right? Like that. Do you know that the same study that I'm quoting, or the same thing that this was a study that I looked at a long time ago, right? For this channel. And in that same study, when women see men that they aren't attracted to, they don't go, Most of the time, women don't even notice that they're there. They don't even acknowledge that that person is existing. They will just be like, nope, I don't remember seeing no dude like that, because they didn't look at him. They didn't even consider the guy. At least we see that there's a woman there. We acknowledge there's a person there. How do you look at a bunch of people and you don't even see them as existing? They wouldn't even they won't even recall into that woman's recollection if she wasn't paying attention. And most men have to go through that. Not to mention, you can be a decent looking dude, and if you don't fall under what she's looking for, you're not even, you still fall under that I don't see you. I have a friend, and she tends to have these, friends that they kind of cool with me, but if it wasn't for my mutual friendship, her friends aren't like, they're kind of stuck up. They wouldn't even notice me normally. All right. And then because they have to acknowledge me, right? Because I've hung out, whatever, then they're like, wow, I actually see you. You're pretty cool. But I can already tell when I first met her stuck up ass friends that had she never introduced me, those friends of hers would have never even seen me, wouldn't even acknowledge that I was in the room. And that's what most guys have to go through. And that's why most guys basically don't feel sorry for women once they hit a certain age. Let me get to these comments. Where are we at? Lawrence says, and there lies the problem. I don't want to refuse to work with the man or build a boo. Nope, won't do it. Facts, Lawrence. Yep. Skip, thank you for being here. He says, word. Thank you for coming through tonight, man. I appreciate that. Chosen says, she wasn't ready. She was not. That's why her face is stuck like that. Matter of fact, let me put that back up on the screen just because I like seeing it. Bam. Look, her face is frozen as hell, bro. Look at that. Look at that right there. She wasn't ready. All right. Let me come back up on the screen there. All right. Chosen says, unless he is smooth like a pimp named Slickback. Exactly, bro. Genuine says, man, I should have listened to my mama and found an East Indian woman. Hey, that might be the way to go, bro. You never know, man. You never know, son. You never know, bro. All right. Let me set up the next clip, you guys. Let me now, this one is a little bit longer, but I think this is an important. I don't even know if I'm going to play the whole thing. I might have to skip through some parts. Yeah, this was the one I might have to skip through. I'm going to skip through when I get to the part that I have to skip through. All right, so let me set this one up in terms of things. So this is a Kendra G show. Now, you hear women say, what do we hear all the time, gents? There's no good men out there. Can't find them. All men are just, what was that last video that I did some videos ago where the woman said that most men are average at best and they ain't got nothing and y'all ain't even worth sniffing our panties or nothing like that. I just made that up, okay? But I think this is an important conversation because there is a narrative out there that there aren't any good men out there. And I've talked about on this channel, if you want to talk about particularly in the Black community, 51%, there's a narrative that says, oh, Black men are degenerates and Black men are, they poor and they can't do nothing, right? And for my white brothers, I'm just letting y'all know, hey, this is what some of the things that said out there. But the truth is 51.7%, like 52% of Black men are actually considered middle class. And that is contrary to some of the beliefs that's out there. All right. And over 50% of Black men are single and childless. So the reason why I bring that up and why I think it's important for all men, no matter what demographic you are, to understand about these narratives, because these narratives just don't affect Black men, it affects all men, because there's lies being put out there for all men, just men in general. That's why I like to bring these points up, because if half of Black men are single and childless, and then the other 30% are married and divorced and have kids, then that means that these women are sleeping with the same Pookies and Ray Rays and creating kids with the same dudes, the same Chaz, the Tyrones, all these dudes, okay? Jimmy, right? They having kids with these same dudes, and they wonder why they're in these scenarios. But all men are bad, right? So let's see. I'm gonna show y'all a dude who's working on himself. And shout out to this brother I'm about to show y'all, because this brother is from the NO. From the dirty, the 504. If y'all don't know what that is, that's down in New Orleans, you know what I mean? Down in Louisiana there. So let's hear it.
Yeah. New. I'm down in New Orleans. Your
Shout
name
out to
is New.
504, baby.
Your house looks immaculate. Are you home?
Yeah, I'm at my house. It's an all-white penthouse.
Okay, it looks very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool up in here.
And you have on a suit. Okay, let me get to know you more. So
Okay,
your name is New, and you're calling me from New Orleans.
Yeah, and I called you. This is my second time, and the last time I'm able to call you. So.
What's that in baby?
Okay,
you know
how
what I'm
old are
saying?
you?
37. I made 37 in June. Cancer.
You're Cancer. Do you have any children?
Nope, no children. No.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm in the credit and real estate space. So I face credit, teach people how to get into real estate, and I got a couple properties myself.
Let me tell you, I got all types of cousins.
Right.
And I do got some hating ass cousins.
Check this out. Check this out. Okay. Now this man got on here. Look, this isn't integral to what I'm trying to show you guys, but I'm leaving it in here for one reason, you guys. These some hating ass people. Let me tell you why it's hating ass. So you might look at this and you might say, oh, he got a green screen up, right? You got a green screen. So this dude's sitting here. He came dressed to get on Kendra G. I want you to hear how these hating ass people came on here and tried to discredit this man. Now I want y'all to look at the screen very carefully because this is what they about to say. Check it out.
Some hating ass cousins feel like you have a green screen background. I don't believe it's a green screen background.
They say I got a green screen background?
Yeah, why you keep cutting me off and let me talk, boo?
My bad. Go ahead.
So I believe that it's a real background. So just go sit down for a second so they can know that this background is real. They look, it's not a green screen.
Look at that.
For all those who is that you on the wall?
It better be.
That's a picture of him on his wall.
Better not be another guy on my wall. Yeah, that's me. That's me on my wall.
What are your deal breakers?
Deal breakers, I think nasty attitude. I cannot deal with a woman with a bad
That's
attitude.
right. So he said he can't deal with a woman with a bad attitude. Man, that is one of the most soul-sucking things, to be around a woman who just is miserable, man. And then they want you to be miserable with them, man. I don't know if Preston's still in the house. You got a rhyme for that one? Misery's Company or something? Let me drop one of those, Preston.
I don't know if women realize it, but they got a lot of women, Kendra, that's just mean and just rude, dude. Like in your daily interactions, it's crazy. Like me and one of my boys was talking about, I don't understand, like women be pouting and just frowning. Like, so any woman with a nasty attitude, a bad attitude, no, I can't do it. It just kills me.
Hey, type in the chat or down in the comments below if you're watching this is pre-recorded. Let me know how you feel about women with nasty, bad attitudes. Do you feel like modern women today, or do you feel like this dude when it comes to modern women and their attitudes? Let me know down in the comments and in the chat. I'm going to read them here in a little bit.
It kills me. There are a lot of men like me out there, right? Men, consciously or subconsciously, every single day are looking for wives. Consciously and subconsciously.
Okay.
It's just, do you qualify?
Right. And that's the thing. We've got to be better as men at vetting if we're even thinking of contemplating a wife. Okay, man, look, if you decide to get married, I say on this channel all the time, I may not agree with the institution of marriage. You guys who are my gents, my day ones, you guys know that. However, if you decide to get married, I will support you in trying to make that marriage successful. And I won't even, I'm not going to, beat you over the head with statistics. If you feel that's the right choice for you, you're a grown-ass man. You have got to make that choice for yourself. We all have to learn for ourselves. But I will say this, right? He's not wrong. The statistics bear it out, man. The statistics bear it out that men want either relationships and or marriage. They just are disillusioned by the way marriage is constructed here in this modern Western society. Genuine says, I'm gonna get to y'all real quick. Lauren says they never loved the man, only the lifestyle he can give her. Absolutely. And then Genuine says, totally agree. My ex-wife, nasty attitude. Damn, sorry to hear that, bro. And then Lauren says the reason marriage women took the man's last name was to avoid crossbreeding. Attitudes killed that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Men are looking for wives every single day. There are a million guys like me. Like, nothing about me is special. There are guys just like me. I'm telling you, I meet them, I know them. I got partners who are very successful, no kids, no wife, or none of that stuff.
Right.
Men are consciously and subconsciously scanning the room every single day looking for a wife.
Let me stop right there. There's a couple things I want to highlight here, and I'm sorry to keep pausing it, but there's something I want to highlight in this, gents. The one thing he said, right? Think about what he said. He said did he call himself a 10? Did he call himself a king? He just said, look, man, I'm just an average dude. You know, like he's doing all these good things with his business, yet he brought himself down. He was humbled. What we're seeing is that modern women today are not humble. They're just bragging with nothing. Some women are bragging and ain't got shit. Right? And the second thing he talked about, I just talked about the statistics that 51.7% of black men are in middle class, right? And then over 50% of them are single and childless. And this dude just said that he got a whole bunch of partners that are single, childless, not married, whatever, right? He said all that, right? Just to let you know that we see it. If you out there in this world, we see these dudes out here, bro. And they just disillusioned by everything going on. So I feel this one.
They're out there. It's just
right.
that the woman has to be prepared to be with that type of guy. Because there are, I promise you, like as men, we talk. Like we talk.
We do
There's
talk.
Tons of men like me. Believe what I'm telling you.
What are some of the?
Hold up. Before she gets started, I'm going to rewind it a little bit before I press play again so we can catch our question. But he said it, man. There's dudes out there like that. The women will constantly say there are no good men out there. I can't find a man. Ain't nobody good. It's just because the men don't fall into their list of what they want, man. But that's the trap, right? That's the trap, gents. Be careful.
There are, I promise you. Like as men, we talk. Like we talk. There are tons of men like me. Believe what I'm telling you.
What are some of the? I know we've been talking to you, but just share. What are some of the top qualities that these men are looking for wives, such as yourself, are looking for in a wife?
Now, hold on. Okay. Before I let him go, she's asking, what are the qualities that these men are looking for? Okay. Before I hit play, I'm trying to prove a point here, gents. In the chat, my people in the chat right now, type one quality that you are looking for in somebody who'd be potentially your wife. And if somebody type something that you was going to type, write another one. Okay. I want the men in this chat to list the qualities that you would be looking for if you were in the market for looking for a wife. Let me know in the chat right now. I'm trying to do an experiment. Okay. The thing about it is we as men in general usually have the same things that we're looking for in somebody that we would want to call potentially a wife. And I want you ladies to understand that, any women that are watching this, okay? I want you to understand that most men in general have relatively the same list. We have the same list. But when it comes to modern women today, we don't know what the hell y'all want, because each of y'all got these lists, these long ass lists that's not even achievable by some of these women. My chat, get up in the chat, y'all. Let me know what y'all would look for in a wife. What kind of things? I want to hear from you guys before I push on. Lauren said, hold up. Where am I at? Preston says, since these women want to treat us like we're invisible, let's just treat them the exact same way that we live in a world where you're walking into nothing. Nothing. I'm glad he put it out there that there are eligible dudes out here looking for wives. We exist. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Let me know, chosen in the chat, what's one quality that you would be looking for in a potential wife. Gents, get up in there and let me know. I'm trying to do an experiment right now, okay? I want to hear from you guys. Lawrence says, I'm a 10, 5'3", and 300 pounds. I feel you, brother. That should be her mug shot, Miss Accountability Lady, right? Newsflash, there aren't exactly any more good women out there either. I would never say never to that, but they're hard to find, I tell you that. Okay, Chosen says humility, femininity, friendliness, and a natural follower. Okay, I feel that one. What else? Spirituality and faith in God. Okay, that's another one. What else you got on there? No jab. Okay, fair enough. All right. If y'all got any more, drop those in the chat. Now, the reason why I wanted you guys to do that and I wanted people to see this, I wanted you guys to list a few things because I want to hear what he said. Now, I haven't gotten this far in watching this video. I have no clue, ladies and gents, what this guy is going to say. But I can guarantee it's pretty close to what the men in the chat put, even though we don't know this dude. Check this out.
The main two things, I promise you. For one, your look, the way you present, right? For example, I'm coming on your show. Now, granted, I look like this, right? You have to present well, right?
Hold on real quick. Let me get this other one in here before he says anything. Loyalty and respect. Okay, Lawrence, thank you for that. All right, let's see what he says.
How you present, because here's the thing. That's just like me. If I date you, my inner circle are Black women. I'm going to have to take you around them, right? So if you look bad, let's just say you look ratchet, they're going to tell me, hey, no, what you doing? What's going on? What's this dynamic? You have to understand the way you present. When I see a woman, no offense, come on your show, right? Now, your show is international because when I came on your show, I had women hit me up from all over the world, every race. And I don't know if it doesn't necessarily reflect. You have white women that watch your show looking for Black men. You have Asian women who watch your show looking for Black men. You have Indian women. I got hit up from every race, almost every country, all over the world for sure. But it's the way you present yourself.
Okay.
You must present well. They got women that come on your show, say that they're looking for a man, but they got a head wrap on.
Ooh.
You can't do that. Pretend you're going on a job interview. That's the way because the way you present yourself, you're saying that's what I feel like you deserve. So if you come on this show is international with a head wrap on, you feel like that's what men deserve.
Ooh,
right?
okay.
So when I come
That's
on your
different.
show looking like this, present myself, this is what I feel like women deserve. I feel like the woman who I'm going to be with, this is what she deserves. She deserves nice, clean, upscale shit, right? That's how it is when women come on this show. You must present well. So, and again, excuse me for being long-winded. You must present well as a woman. Secondly, be in shape.
Okay.
Present well and be in shape. The kid thing is the third one, but it goes because, you know, some men have kids, some don't. But for sure, present well. You have hypergamy going on nowadays. Hypergamy means that the woman who's in the cafeteria wants to date the brain surgeon. It doesn't work like that. That's hypergamy.
It is.
Works, right? The cafeteria worker wants to date the brain surgeon. That doesn't work.
Right.
That's different financial class and different social class. You must present well. If you want a guy, not necessarily me, you may not want me, but if you want a guy like me, you must present well and you must be in shape. That's physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You must be in shape across the board.
Okay. Well, look, I'm surprised he didn't say any of the things that I thought, but I will tell you from what I've seen on this channel and I've seen in the polls, you guys hit it. You guys hit everything, right? You talked about humility, femininity, friendliness, and some of the things that he talked about is incorporated into this, right? But he also talked about, you can tell he had a bad experience when it came to women and their attitude. So he's talking about how you present, how, you know, and being realistic about what you deserve, right? We talked about spirituality. Sorry, God dang, I was tongue-tied. Loyalty and respect. Takes care of herself, rejects feminism, right? Right. We talked about this. Good one, Lawrence. Loyalty, respect, devotion. Absolutely. Yes, Lawrence, loyalty, respect. And then dude went way all the way off. So you can tell there were certain things that was important, but actually everything that you guys talked about was encapsulated in what he was talking about. I think that he should have taken more time, and I'm sure this video clip was a lot longer than what it was supposed to be. It was probably longer, but I think that he would have encapsulated more of that stuff. But obviously to him, he wants someone he can bring around his people that's not going to embarrass him. And you can't blame dude for that. Preston says, if you want losers company in Misery City, try Looney Baloney. All right. So Gents, the last video I'm going to present it tonight, because we're going to get off here in about 10 minutes, 10, 11 minutes. We'll try to keep it to 2 hours. But the last video I want to talk about, and this is a serious topic, I'm going to go ahead and switch camera views real quick. The last thing I wanted to talk about in terms of us, basically need to talk about the modern women's mindset is this woman here. When you hear this video, at first I almost took it as an insult, but she's making a point, and this is the point, and I want to hone in on this point, and I'll talk about it at the end of it. So listen to the whole video. If not, you won't get the full context, because even I didn't get the full context when I first listened to this video. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to put the video up on the screen and not myself. Check this out.
We have to realize that a lot of these men out here do not have safety nets. They do not have people that they can run to their rescue. They don't have a outlet to really express all the stuff that be going on in their mind and their head. Like, I'm just gonna be the one to say it. These men go through a lot of things. These men are unhealed. Some of them are very much unhealed, and they don't have anybody to really pour into. We always focus on what the woman is doing, how she's hurt, how life has hurt her, the traumas that she's been through. But do we really sit back and really think about what these men go through every single day? We gotta do better. Let's start uplifting our brothers. Let's start opening up our arms so we can actually help them get to their better versions, their best selves as well. Because 9 out of 10, if a man gets to his best self, he really worked hard to get there by himself.
Absolutely. Again, if you watch this video, if you just listen to the beginning, you would think she was dissing men. But this topic, I left this one for last because I thought that this was important. There are a lot of men out there who are unseen. And I think we kind of talked about it earlier, but there are a lot of men who don't get seen by society, who get looked down upon, and who people, there's a lot of men that don't have people to run to. Now, listen, the dark part of this is statistically, it's men that decide to control, alt, delete themselves because they just feel they have nobody. And I've argued this on this channel before, and I've argued it to some of my female friends that men are lacking intimacy. And as much as we say, look, I don't want to deal with these women nowadays, we got to be real about men not getting intimacy. And I had to come to grips with something. I got my boy QB Passport flexing. If you guys know that channel, that dude's a good friend of mine. QB's a good friend of mine, and he's a black pillar. And one of the things that they believe in the black pill community is they are okay with P2P, right? Pay to play, meaning that you have these women who are workers, street workers, and they usually don't like to be intimate with dudes or like to open up or let dudes open up, but they'll have men who are, even some of them married. You can say that's disgusting or not, ladies, or whatever, but these men aren't getting even intimacy in their own marriages. And so what happens? These men are starting to open up to these street workers about what's going on with them. And it's because men are lacking intimacy. And so I never usually advocate P2P, not to say that, if you do it, I look down on you. No, I don't. Actually, I'm actually making a declaration here on this channel that if you are a man and you are lacking in intimacy, maybe the best thing for you might be to do is P2P, right? Pay to play, just so that you can get some of the intimacy and that you don't feel like you're alone, right? I mean, honestly, we have to actually have a real conversation about this. And whether you agree with it or not, for any ladies that are watching this, that this is a real subject. And if there's a problem with men P2P, then you should also have a problem with the women that do it. And then if you have a problem with women who are street workers, who are a part of the P2P, then you should have a problem with modern women today who just open their legs up for a McDonald's McDouble or, a Big Mac, right? But y'all don't have a problem with that. You don't have a problem with holding those women accountable, yet and still will embarrass a man for going out and paying for intimacy. I'm not talking about giving these OnlyFans women money just so you can see them on camera shaking their ass. I do not believe in that. If you're talking about you go and you see these Instagram thoughts and whatever, I don't agree with that. You want to talk about giving your attention to these Instagram models who you want to give your money to, I don't agree with that, because even though you might send them your money, you are not getting the thing that you need as a man, and which that you need as a man is to have intimacy, and a lot of men aren't getting that. So we need to have a real conversation about what's going on with that, because we have men who as strong as some of you guys are, some men are in control of deleting themselves because of the lack of intimacy, and that's something that we have to talk about in the society, right? We have to be real about this conversation about a lack of intimacy, because women are saying, hey, I only want the top 20% of men, which leaves 80% of men lacking intimacy, lacking that female touch. That's why I say I don't hate women. That's why I don't say I don't have a problem with women. I'm telling you all this because we need each other. But the problem is everybody got their heads so stuck up their asses that they can't see that we need each other. Yet and still you're going to make these unrealistic standards when you just a basic bitch yourself. It don't even make no damn sense here. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So whether y'all like it or not, I think that this is a real topic that we need to discuss when it comes to being realistic about what our options are, being realistic about who we are and where we are. We're not better than one or the other. We need to work on ourselves. We need to work on what we're trying to get to, and we need to respect people that are taking that stand. But if you are a man and you are lacking intimacy, please, if you got to pay P2P so that you can have that intimacy and that touch, do it. If that's going to keep your mind stable and make you feel better. Better for you to pay for it than you to pay for it going down a divorce aisle. And that's something that I've never said on this channel before, but tonight I am launching that in the first Friday night stream, jam session, whatever you want to call it, right? Because I think it is important that we talk about and discuss these issues, okay? Let me get to you guys' comments, then we'll close this thing out. I read that. Person says, blame the game, not the shame. Wow, I am surprised. What are you surprised about, bro? Let me know down in the comments below. That's myself all the way. Oh, okay. Here you are. I hear you. No one to turn to for support. Yeah, that's exactly it, man. This is a real conversation, man. It's a real conversation, and I am a firm, like this is what I'm putting out for the first time, man. First time I'm putting this out. Chosen said the second largest problem for men, other than bad women, are dudes hating, hating as dudes. Yeah. That's a problem too. And Chosen, you've been here long enough. I've talked about the hating ass dudes that are out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any love for them. Okay. Dudes gaslighting other brothers for having opinions and vulnerabilities. Absolutely. Shaming you. Okay. I said there was something else I was going to tell you guys, and you guys just brought it to my attention. And I want to talk about it before I get off the stream. So if I go a little bit over time, that's fine. There's no real time clock, but I want to talk about this before we get off of there. And let me make sure I write this down so I don't forget. But hopefully I remember this note because I don't be realizing my handwriting when I'm writing quick. Lauren says women weaponize the cookie, kids, and the system against men. Absolutely. All right. Absolutely. All right, man. Look, this is the last thing that I'm going to say. I just went on that rant. I got one more rant for you guys and we'll get up out of here. Okay. The rant that I'm going to say is I had a discussion with a bigger YouTuber than me. He's out here in Vegas. He does interviews. I'm not going to say the name of the channel, but if you guys watch enough of these type of content, you've seen his videos pop up. He's here in Vegas too. He's a bigger YouTuber than I do. Ask some of the best questions on the internet. I'll let you guess who it is. Okay. I'm not going to just whatever, but that dude and I had a discussion the other day. Right. And one of the things that he said is that men are shamed, right? I just talked about P2P, right? Some dudes might need that to be able to talk to a woman, have intimacy with a woman and stuff like that. It's part of that conversation that made me come to this realization that I need to change my stance on that. There's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with it, man, especially if you're not getting what you need in your life. So I will not shame any men for it, nor that I have on this channel, but I'm just saying it was just one of my things like, look, avoid it if possibly can. But why? If that is the best option that you have, and that's going to give you more peace than it will be to be with a woman who's going to give you heartache and pain and stuff like that, then I'd rather you pay for it than to go ahead and deal with that and end up with your woman filing a false report and you losing your home. I would rather you pay for it than to find yourself not able to see your kids or to have a woman that's not going to work with you. I'd rather that. And all I'm going to say to you guys is, we got to be real about not shaming men for being men. That is one of the biggest things that is happening nowadays. So we shame men for wanting to talk to women, for basically, looking and taking in a woman's beauty. We want to shame a man for that, but we never shame the women when they look at men like a piece of sausage, or they're looking at the 9s and 10s and they Googling over them. Or, we've seen videos on this channel where women will be on stage and pull their dang drawers off and throw it up on stage for some of these stars and stuff like that. We don't shame women for that. Or I showed y'all the video the other week where the woman, who was it on stage? Suki or whatever, Sukiana or whatever, one of them damn girls. I don't know which one. But the point is, the girl ate her lunch. I'm talking about ate her salad, man. I'm talking about like right there up on stage. But nobody shames that. Everybody like, oh, you go, girl, you got Suki, right? We will not shame a woman for that, but we will shame a man who decides he wants to pay for it. We'll shame a man for being a man, going up to a woman. We'll shame a man for being a man, for just wanting to be able to start a casual conversation with a woman, looking at a woman, admiring her beauty. We shame men for that. Because if that man doesn't fall into what she finds to be attractive, then we shame dudes for that. And so why am I saying all this, Sean? Sean, why are you bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because the conversation I had with that bigger YouTuber was this, that men need to not be ashamed for being a man. We're done with that. Now, I know we've talked about that here on this channel, but tonight I'm making it clear, man, that don't be ashamed of being a man. I'm not saying go out there and be a creep and do nothing stupid and stuff like that. I'm just saying that if you're a man, don't be ashamed of what men do. And men admire the beauty of women, period. End of story. Cut it, right? And we shame men for that. But yet and still the same women that will talk against a man and shame a man for that do not say a goddamn thing for all the things that we see modern women doing out here in these streets. They don't shame them for that. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find one of these folders and pull up one last clip. 1 second. Let me see something. I know I did a video on here recently. Hold on, let me find it. What's the video I did? Oh man, that's not it. 1 second. Let me find this. Oh, yep, right here. Okay, right? I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I wasn't going to play. I got one more video for you guys. It's a video I've already done, right? But we're talking about these women have no damn shame, man. Is this? Hold on 1 second, gents. I'm going to pull up one more video for you guys. Right here. I'll play this one because there's so many clips to pull from. I'm going to play this one right here. Right here. One last video clip. I'll get to your comments in a second. Check this out.
Cheat more, men or women? Me, bitch, I cheat. Fuck out of here. Me too much leeway, I'ma cheat, okay? So keep me in your eyesight at all times, bitch. Niggas think they run game, bitch. I run the game, bitch. I invented a motherfucking game, bitch. Don't play with me. Now, if my niggas see this, bitch, it's not me, baby. I love you, daddy. It's not me. I promise. We in love and we gonna get married.
What?
And I'm finna eat it up when I get home. I need a YouTube so I can block it on my nigga phone.
Right? Y'all saw that, right? So here we are. We quick to shame men. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong camera. Jesus. We quick to shame men for being men. We quick to shame men for that. And I bet you if you go ahead in the comments, if it ain't men telling her she crazy, some of these women out here, I'm sure if you look at the comments of that same video, you got women like, yes, girl, I do the same thing. He ain't gonna know, blah, blah, blah. Why aren't women holding other women accountable for this? But yet still we're going to shame a man for thinking a woman is beautiful. We're going to shame a man for giving a woman a compliment or open a door, just little things. And women's like, if he ain't attractive, then I'm going to shame him for it. Are you serious? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, man, if you got to get to intimacy, you P to P, do what you got to do. Be a man. Don't let them shame you out of it. You know, if you find a woman attractive, go up and talk to her. If she shoots you down, hold your head up, walk off, man. It's all good. It's all good. We men, we go through that. All right? All you can do is try, you know? And if she, you know, leave her alone. Be like, you know what? You have a good one. And you walk off and just act like it don't even bother you. Even if it bothers you, walk off like it don't bother you. But don't allow society to shame you for who you are, the essence of who you are. I don't know why society is trying to change us from being who we are, because it knows that there is nothing more powerful than a strong man and a woman that has his back together. The society don't want to see that shit. It don't. And these modern women don't want to see it either, because if they see that, the first thing they try to do is break up those relationships because they ain't got it themselves. Right? Hating ass bitches out here. I'm telling you, man. Y'all got to be careful with who you around, bro. Be careful who you let in your life. For real. Dudes call other dudes weak for not being perfect. Exactly, man. And one of the things I've said, look, I ain't perfect, man. I'm old enough at this point that I've been through enough life, and all I'm trying to do is just drop game, bro. Just trying to drop game to the bros, man. You know, ain't no harm. I told you, there ain't no hate, no women. I just want real men. I want us to be real, bro. Right? And I don't want us to feel shame for being men. That shit got to stop. Off top. Glad I found your channel. New subscriber. Thank you so much, man. We almost on the way to 13,000 subscribers, bro. Like, insane, bro. Like, you know, there was a period of time I felt like I watch other channels. Let's have a real moment right here, man. Like, I watch some of these other channels and they got like so many more subscribers than I do. And if I'm being real, man, if you guys go watch my video, I put some time into some of this editing. You know what I mean? Like, is it always perfect? No, right? Some days I just got to get the video out, right? But the message is powerful. But overall, I think how this channel has grown over the last year and a half, almost 2 years, the growth that I've done in 2 years, hell, man, what was it? January 1st, 2021. Wait. January 1st, 2022. I had 387 subscribers. By the time I put out one video on January 2nd, which was the first Monday of the year, that video from January 2nd to January 20th, 18 days, I went from 387 subscribers to 1,000 subscribers. And then over the course of the next year, I think my channel was up to about 6,000 something subscribers. And since January of this year, I've doubled the channel, right? You and I have doubled the channel. This is our channel for the gents. Even my ladies who support the gents, this is our channel, okay? I couldn't have done it without you guys, man. And I used to look and say, man, I used to look sometimes and go, man, they got dudes out here with these channels and their channel ain't better than mine. Maybe they're more eloquent speakers. Maybe people can relate to them a little bit more. I don't know. But when it comes to, you know, putting a narrative and a story together, the editing, trying to make it entertaining, all the things, having these live streams. I don't care if I have big ass live streams, man. I like it intimate the way I have it because we talk real on this, right? And I used to look and say, man, how did this dude got 50,000 subscribers, man? And the content, yeah, they finding good clips, but they're not giving you no meat, man. They ain't giving you no goddamn substance, bro. How are they doing better than me? They got channels out here, and tell me in the chat if y'all seen this, man. This is the most disgusting one of all. They got channels And listen, I'm not gonna knock people YouTube hustle, but what I'm saying is this is disgusting when it comes to how you see these channels raise up to 50,000, 100,000 subscribers, 25,000, whatever you want to call it. And all they doing is just reposting Kevin Samuel videos. Not that dude dead and he's not copyright striking people channels. They just reposting Kevin Samuel's channels videos, and now they got 50,000 subscribers, man. I know you guys miss Kevin Samuel's channel, but subscribing to a channel that's going to replay videos of a dude, I'm not saying using clips, right? I use clips of Kevin Samuel's things if I think it's going to fit the narrative of what I'm trying to talk about in the video. But I'm talking about they just replay all of Kevin Samuel's whole video, bro. They got 50,000 subscribers, bro. Like, and I'm only at 12. Come on, bro. That don't even make sense to me, right? That don't even make sense. So, but I stopped worrying about that, man, because there's over 100 million YouTubers in the whole world. Okay, there's over 100 million YouTube channels. And if you have 10,000 or more subscribers, you are in the top 2 or 3% of all YouTubers in the world. So, understanding that, that's something to be proud of, man. And that's something you guys should be proud of, man. This ain't just me. This is y'all supporting. When I put out videos and y'all watch the whole video and y'all leave comments and you watch another video afterwards, y'all have grown the channel, man. I'm just the host, bro. I'm just the vessel, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just the dude that's been through some things that's sharing with everybody, man. And so I wanted to tell y'all I appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming through, even the new subscribers that have come through, like Genuine and stuff like that. I appreciate that, man. Seriously. I'm gonna read y'all comments here in a second. The last thing I want to say on that is it's you guys that I was able to be motivated to finish this book, man. You know what? Do not leave yet. Do not leave, you guys. Do not leave. You know what? Because you guys rocked with me this late at night, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something, man, for you guys. I am going to do something for you all that I haven't done. I'm not going to do for anybody else. I keep talking about this book, and I got to get the editing and everything. I got to get the logistics in place. But because you guys rocked with me, man, I am going to I'm going to do something real quick, man. I'm going to do something because I respect y'all gents. For do not go anywhere, okay? I got to do something real quick. Sorry, 1 second, gents. Bear with me. This is going to be well worth it right now, okay? Check this out. Because you guys stuck with me right now, I am going to share my screen with you guys. This is my book cover, right? For the new book right here, right? And because you guys stuck in here, I'm actually going to read an excerpt from the book, okay? I'm going to read a short excerpt. So let me prep this. Wow, I couldn't believe I did all this. Jesus, I've really been working on this thing. Jesus. I'm going to read part of the introduction to you guys. So if you stuck around this long, I'm going to do something. I'm going to read part of the introduction to you guys so that you all can know what you would be buying if you decide to support the book, okay? So I'm going to read a little bit from it. Not the whole thing, because you guys, I want to keep it interesting for you guys, right? But I'm going to read part of the intro. Give me a second. Thank you guys for sticking around this long. Let me do this, and then we'll do... All right. Growing up, I towered over most of the kids my age, but here's the catch. I was always the skinny one amongst them. While my height and weight were greater than most, my physique remained slender. I never faced bullying for my appearance, but Hey Slim became the nickname among some of the kids, a light-hearted reminder of my lean build. That's me as a kid, y'all. I don't have too many pictures because we lost everything in Hurricane Katrina. Being an athlete helped offset the challenges of being skinny. I excelled in sports and my athletic prowess compensated for my lack of bulk. It seemed like a fair trade-off. However, things took a turn when junior high school arrived and my gaze shifted towards girls. The problems associated with being the skinny kid manifested at this point, leading to rejections from the girls I was most fond of. It was a tough pill to swallow. Then the summer before my junior year of high school, and with it, a change began to take shape. Then the summer before my junior year of high school arrived, and with it, I doubled that page. See, that's why I'm glad I caught it. Here it is. Began to take shape. Determined to improve my appearance. Actually, let me do this real quick while I'm watching this. 1 second, you guys. Since I caught it, let me take this out while I'm looking at it. Boom. See, I told you I still got some editing to do, so bear with me. That's why it's taking me a while to get the book going. Okay, determined to improve my appearance, I set out on a journey that not only garnered more attention from the opposite sex, but also ignited a deeper passion for fitness within me. All right. When I joined the Navy, I stood at 6'2" tall and weighed about 171 pounds. Boot camp became a turning point in my life. By the time I completed it, I had added a solid 14 pounds to my frame, tipping the scales at 185 pounds. That transformation was just the beginning. At my first school in the Navy, I finally had access to legitimate weight rooms. Eager to make the most of it, I hit the gym every single day. Little did I know that my dedication would earn me the responsibility of overseeing one of the 3 groups of about 10 sailors in physical training. It was a humbling experience. To keep our workouts exciting, we even incorporated full court basketball for our cardio sessions. That's me in the Navy, y'all. Some 26 years ago. All right. The instructors overseeing us held doubts about the effectiveness of my methods, but I issued them a challenge. Compare our group's progress to the other 2. And guess what? Our group outperformed the rest. That moment marked the birth of a new chapter. How I would not only change, how it not only, hold up. Where am I on this? How I would not only, see, I told you I got proofreading to do. How I would not only change my own life, but also the lives of others through the power of fitness. By the end of my first school in the Navy, I had grown to 6'3" tall and weighed a solid 198 pounds. It was a remarkable transformation, both physically and mentally. This was just the beginning of an incredible journey that would shape my life and the lives of many others through the incredible power of fitness. Okay, I got to make sure I redo that, right? So here I am sharing my story with you, from the tall, skinny kid to the person standing before you today. This ebook is a testament to the transformative power of determination, passion, and embracing one's own journey. Get ready to join me on an adventure filled with humor, challenges, and victories that will inspire you to push beyond your limits. Welcome to the world of change, growth, and becoming the best version of yourselves through fitness. Let's get started. Anyway, I got some editing. I got a lot of editing to do, so I plan to start doing that this month. But right now, I'm trying to get the formatting and everything together. So let me put myself back up on screen and see what you guys have to say. I want to share that with you guys, the introduction to my book. And there's a lot of things in that book. There's a lot of stories, like I told you guys, about myself and my journey that I went through, along with the things that I've learned from training people over the last training for the last 26 plus years. That's not even including growing up in sports and stuff like that. So it's not a book for people trying to be bodybuilders. This is a book for everyday people who may be struggling with their fitness, who may be struggling to stay motivated. It doesn't have to be just with fitness. This is a motivational story. It is my fitness story. And I hope that if you decide to buy the book and support this book, I promise you that what you're going to get from it, hopefully, is inspiration, motivation, and learning the things that I've learned over the last 26 years plus. Okay. So I'm going to check out what you guys have to say. Thank you guys for being there for that. The It's Complicated guy. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah. Another huge value in a woman, cooperation. That's a good one. hoping your channel can rebuild my confidence in women. Hopefully, but really it's to actually help you build the confidence in yourself. If you build the confidence in yourself, it don't matter what's going on with the women because they can't take away from you anything that you don't allow them to. Does that make sense? Yo, demons out here, bro. Wow. Yeah. At Chosen, Jezebels, facts. Love and being real. That's what this channel's about, baby. Yep. Enjoy real talk. That's what we do here, man. I'm gonna start doing these Friday things more often, man. If I'm not going out that night, you know what I mean? There's still many folks who ride with the ex-president. Go figure. Yeah, that's true. Oh, Hands Fight Kidbox. What's up, my brother? Make sure y'all go over and check this brother's channel out, man. Like, very good channel over there, man. TSG making power moves. Hey, got to get the book done first. You know what I'm saying? Press that street workers and stank buzzards are clueless when it comes to real lifers in the truth's fire. Nice. Respect, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. The Summer Slams jam. A friend told me a man cheating, something like that, is the closest thing to having a baby. Oh, wait. A man creating something like that is the closest thing to having a baby. Well, I have real kids. I have kids, and you know, 2 of my kids are adults already. And I'm gonna tell you how I felt, Lawrence. I've always wanted to be a writer. Now, anybody who's watched this channel for any length of time knows that I talk about having a 5-year plan, and I keep my I'll be writing my next 5-year plan before 2024 ends, but it's in the back here. That's right. So I write 5-year plans out, right? So that was my first 5-year plan from January 2020 or January 2015 to January 2020. And then my second 5-year plan, the one I'm currently on, is right here. And then in 2024, before it turns 2025, I'll write my next 5-year plan. One of the things that I've always wanted to do, and this is why I'm bringing this up, Lawrence, one of the things I've always wanted to do is to write my book, to write a book. I just never had enough peace in my life to do it. And I do now, you know, like I'm a middle-aged man, you know, and I can honestly say that I've done the work, you know, like, am I perfect? No. The work never stops. But I finally have a peace in myself to be able to tell a story and feel it has a conclusion that I feel is satisfying, and then I hope that you guys can be like, I get it. I feel that. Man, you've been through a lot of stuff, and look where you're at now, and look where you're still trying to get to. If that's not inspirational or motivational enough, I don't know what else is. You know what I mean? But this is one of many books. I plan to have my second book written and out by my birthday in April. So that's my goal. Finish this book up, get it out there, push it for the next 6 months, 7 months. And then, yeah, man, I'll have the next book out, you know, and I hope it's inspirational as well. But it is like my baby, man, because I'm an author, man. Like, that's the part, Lawrence, that gets me. Like, bro, I'm an author. I'll really be an author when I get this thing published, but that just blows my mind. And this wasn't like I'm just going to shit this book out. I've been working on this thing for the last 6 months, 4 to 6 months. So, yeah, man, like I'm a writer, I'm an author, bro. Like, that just blows my mind, bro. That's the way I feel about it. I totally feel you. Yeah, it's just a mind-blowing experience for me, bro. Seriously. Congrats. Looking forward to reading it, man. Look, and you guys have been such a big support, man, because everybody's like, when is this book coming out? But as you can see, I still have some errors I have to go over. So I know I said middle of the month, and that's when I want to get it out by, but I'm not going to put this book out until it is completely ready and ready to go. And that means I got to read through it, proofread it, whatever. I got to pay somebody to proofread it and then go through my, you know, the publishing company. And a brother of mine who's already put out like 6 books, he told me how to get it done. And so as soon as this book is ready to drop, I guarantee I will let you guys know. And you guys have been like, especially you guys have been rocking with the channel. You're like, when this book, man, let me know when the book drop. Then I got people that I know. They're like, yo, when this book drop, I need to know. So by supporting this book, you guys support the channel and you support me. And the best thing I can tell you is I would appreciate the word of mouth when this book does drop. If you appreciate the book, if there's a way to give it, stars, give it stars, man. You know what I mean? But I hope that you guys give it, 5 stars or, 10 stars or whatever, man. I hope you guys find this an interesting read. It's not a hard read. I didn't want it to be a hard read. I want it to be interesting, but I want it to be impactful and I want it to be powerful. And I want it to help what I say do all the time on this channel. And that's live your best life. All right. So shout out to Hands Flight Kitbox. Please make sure you go check out my brother's channel down there at Hands Flight Kitbox. Go check out his channel, subscribe to it, support the brother. Lawrence, thank you for being here, man. I am so glad to have you. This was a great conversation. Shout out to my brother Preston. Thank you so much. Genuine, man. Thank you for subscribing tonight and becoming a gent, man. I thank you for that. I tell you, man, we have real conversations here, and just know that as a gent, man, I put a lot of effort into these videos. Even the ones where even the ones that aren't better than others, just know that I think about every video, man. You know what I mean? There's a purpose for every video. So you watching and supporting the channel, man, and watching the videos all the way through, that's how you support me. Also, the people that is given to super chats, cash apps, right? Like everybody who supported this channel can't do without you, bros. I really can't, man. And I put down there in the banner there about supporting the channel and stuff like that, about the book coming out. I already said thank you, Preston. Chosen, I'm going to get to you one more time. Thank you so much for being here this evening. I want to make sure I catch everybody. I like to make sure I give everybody props who come through. I don't want to miss anybody. I know I'm missing somebody right now. Haven't seen him yet. Uh-oh. Oh, yep, Mr. Charles. Shout out to Mr. Charles for coming through tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. Who else do we have up in here? Shout out to my friend Karen for dropping through. Make sure to go check out her channel, House of M. Did I miss anybody? Shout out to Chosen for the $10 super chat, man. Thank you so much for coming through, bro. I appreciate that. Shout out to SL Pro for coming through. Thank you so much for being here tonight, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to Mr. Global Grind who came through early tonight, man. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. Thank you. Let me make sure I catch all the comments. Is anybody, blah, blah, blah. Chosen said, we'll be looking for the book, TSG. You guys will know when I drop the book. I will put it in a community post. I'll put the link to the book in the community post. I will talk about it in the video. I will let you know when the book comes out, right? I'll talk about it all through all my social medias, man, because we want to make sure this book's successful. And when I do put it out, if you find the book successful and you find it inspirational, please suggest the book to other people, man, because that's only going to help me grow the channel as well, especially with that type of credibility, man. Seriously. All right. All right, man. Oh, I must have missed another comment. Hold on 1 second. Preston says, the cuckoo storing too many Fruit Loops delusional truths. Thank you, Preston, for dropping one more dope rhyme on us before we get up out of here, man. I thank each and every one of you guys again. Gents, until next time, live your best life.